Hi, all. I'm Ron from Pacific Permaculture. I just want to talk about how have we made the world a better place? How can we make the world a better place? Now, the election's over. The election results aren't in. But no matter who gets in office in the United States, it's up to us to make big changes. Okay. Yeah, some elected leaders can do this and that. And the bad things we push against to not let them happen, and the good things we try to push for. But really, if we really want big changes, a lot of that happens on the individual level, I think. We can shift how we spend our money. That's one thing. And that's a big thing. How we get our food. And that's kind of my focus. Now, one of the things I'm going to do, in addition to growing my own food, is I'm starting this Pacific Permaculture Institute, and it's going to be at my house because that's the space I have right now. And I want to engage all kinds of aspects of permaculture. So in other words, permaculture isn't this dull thing where you have to be a plant nerd to engage with it. You know, I want to bring in people that I want to have classes on video editing and just everything. Music, you know, say learn to play guitar, ukulele, or sing, or these are all parts of our human existence. And these are things that bring us joy. We want permacultures having not just everybody surviving, but everybody thriving. So we need art of all forms in our life. So, of course, if there's a way to make something less toxic or less environmentally detrimental, you know, this type of thing, we'll do that within that. But say if you want oil paint and you have some way to not produce as much waste while doing it, maybe you can recycle some things, you can reuse things, you can use more earth-friendly materials and less toxic materials and things like this. In every aspect that we can make better, we're going to make the whole world better. Okay, so that's the thing. And hi, Heidel. Thanks for coming by. I don't know if you're still here, but thanks for coming to the live stream. You know, whether you vote for Biden or whether you vote for Trump, we all live in the same world. And one thing about this country is the United States is that we're all Americans at the end of the day, okay? And what we could do is all work together and build a more vibrant food system, okay? That's one part of permaculture. Another part is working on the economic system to where it benefits people more than just giant corporations. Benefits people that are just working Joe type of person like me. You don't have to have a superior giant stack of degrees to grow good food. Okay, so I want to be able to have demonstrations and classes and things on healthy eating, organic, you name it, raising free range animals, eating more vegetables, and just different ways of preparing, and all this in addition to, of course, building soil and you name it. It spans the spectrum. Okay, it's kind of the permaculture is the rainbow of a vibrant life. Okay, kind of, it just goes across, and there's different dimensions to it. You know, it's not just gardening. Okay, anybody who thinks permaculture is just gardening does not look deep into permaculture. And of course, we want to learn about making food forests in our individual areas. And you'll notice on the end of a lot of my videos now, I put to donate, because what I want people to understand well, to support. Okay. But what I want people to understand is that it's not just giving money to me to make a video. No, it's about making videos a part of the Pacific Permaculture Institute of Health and Healing. Okay. And I'm talking about human health, health of the earth, more biodiversity. We want a better world for everything, and less impact from us humans, and more vibrancy back into our life. We don't want to just be burned out working, like running on a treadmill day after day, feel like we're getting nowhere and have no vibrancy, no vitality in our life. So that's what I'm all over. That's what I'm all about. So it's about quality of life is what I'm saying. Okay. And also some people will probably get a longer life, because as we produce less toxic and use less toxic items in our life, we'll all live healthier, and some will live longer than otherwise. And I think then we'll be building a better world. Hi, Howie, Food Forest Permaculture. How you doing tonight? Hi, MB Heritage Farms. How you doing tonight? Thanks everybody for coming by the live stream. I just, I've had these ideas lately to just throw up a live stream, so I did. And there we go. And I'm going to put the invite link. If anybody wants to come up and share a story, they're free to. It doesn't have to be a story I agree with, just a story. Also, at some point I'd like to get people on here that sing. If anybody wants to sing. I was watching the video the other night, the Hapsters, which I watch their shows often when I can. They had a lady that was a very good singer, and I'd like to try to support that, even though my channel's still in its infancy, still small, struggling. It's like the little tree, because it's in the forest floor and it hasn't got enough light. As soon as some old trees fall out of the way, gets that light, So if that should happen, then I want to be able to support other things too. Green juicing, I have to start green juicing first, Howie. I need to get out my juicer one of these days. And I've had so many things that I've been putting a lot of things off that in the rest of my life. So I've been putting off things like getting the juicer out and trying it and all this. But I have many ideas. I mean, there's a place in, I think it's in Mexico, and I'm trying to think of it, that you go to do these juice cleanses, like juice flush. And I'm trying to think what they call it. But anyway, it's right at the tip of my brain. Okay. It hasn't reached the tip of my tongue. It's right at the tip of my brain. And anyway, maybe it'll run down under my tongue, but as we talk. But people do this, and supposedly some are healed from cancers and other wild degenerative maladies, I guess you'd say. And hey, I'd like to be able to do that too. At least have some workshops on, hey, we're going to try, say, a solid food vacation for a week. All these people, and have them, and you can maybe camp there and all this. Even if it's not at the Permaculture Institute itself, we can set up where we have reservation at a campground somewhere to do it. There's ways to do these things. But yeah, I want to bring in artists of all forms. I mean, musical artists, people that paint, people that do sculpture, people that, I'm going to tie all this into the web of permaculture at the Pacific Permaculture Institute to the best of my abilities. And we're all going to walk forward and make this all better for everybody that we can, and try to get as many people and parts of the permaculture spectrum involved as we can. And anybody who wants to lend a hand with that, as Howie has. Howie's helped tremendously. Howie of Food Forest Permaculture here in this effort already. Anybody else wants to get involved? I mean, if you want to donate, that's great. If you want to donate your time later when I get this up and running, that's even better. They're both great. Any help is appreciated, but I want to build this thing out. I mean, I really don't want to be the only one doing video. I want to get several people that can do video, both to document what goes on and also as a teaching tool. And another aspect is to teach people to edit. Okay, even if it's just on a very basic program, give them the confidence. Making video, editing video, we can spread these ideas. And one of the, you know, as I sit here talking and thinking, my brain kicks up as my mouth starts moving. You know, I'm limited because I can only speak English. But what if we could tap into 4 or 5 other languages and start teaching this from the Pacific Permaculture Institute? Wouldn't that be great? You know, say if we could speak Philippine language and Spanish and English and I don't know, Canadian. I'm kidding. Canadian isn't a language. That's my little Canadian joke. But you know, we need to reach beyond just what we know, and I want to incorporate just every aspect I can and spread this. You know, we could have the English, the Philippine, the Spanish version at the same institute, and all these types of things. Teach people to make soil, learn about different zones, what we could do. For example, still you have to learn your own land, but the more little insights we could give, we tweak it a little bit and give somebody just a little tool that they can work on their food forest at their place, and we can kick this thing up pretty quickly. You know, if I can get this institute up and running and rolling, maybe in the next 5 years we could have just boom. You know, I'd like the West Coast to just have thousands of food forests, from all the way down to the end of Baja, maybe to, I don't know, top of Canada, or all the way to the edge of Alaska. You know, just boom. Everybody's eating good. We change the food system. We improve the food system. You know, from plant to plate, is how he says. You know, not just the grass roots, the veggie roots, the tree roots, the mycelium, you know, the microbes, the worms, the worm farms, you know, the worm casting. We can do it. We need density of people involved. From plant to plate, from soil to plate, from plate to compost to soil, back to plate. You know, how about that? We can make this circular economy happen. Yeah, how about from plate to plate with some intermission? That sounds a little edgy, huh? Like, I'm not eating off that guy's plate. Well, indirectly you are. Yeah, that is a little catchy, plant to plate. I know the vegans have this saying, and I've even seen a magazine called this. It's called, shoot, now I can't think of the phrase. Isn't that wonderful? Forks over knives. And I just say forks over plates. You know, let's eat whatever we want, but make it as sustainable and regenerative and human and animal healthy and atmospherically healthy as possible. The most life affirming. Hi, The Best Life. Thanks for coming by the live stream. I will plant this invite link again. See, I just came up with another phrase. I'm going to plant the invite link in the chat and see if anybody helps it germinate into something. So there's the invite link. I planted into the chat. Hi, Brett. Thanks for coming by the live show. If anybody would like to come on the panel, it is open. Come tell your story. Come tell what you're trying to do to make the world a better place. No matter who's in office, I'm still doing what I'm trying to do. So that's the thing for me. I have a friend that talked about staying up all night, worried about the results, and, was all burned out. And I was like, why? Just get your rest. Why does that? The results are already in the tank. The fuel's in the tank. Whatever's going to happen, we can push against the potential bad things that are one party wants to make happen and hold them back. And we can just move that needle a little bit with these political things. They won't let us have the real tools, okay? The real tools are the shovel and the trowel and all this, that we can build a better food system and make ourselves and our neighbors healthy. And when we eat healthy, we think healthy, we act healthy, we act as a group. Who needs to be governed if we're the sensible, life-affirming, living group? Okay? Then we can tell them to, oh, we want to tell you have to do this. Oh, yeah? Okay, whatever. And then we go back to building our soil and making good food and supporting each other in this country and throughout the world. What do we need to be fighting with each other for? They keep us separated in different parties and everything so that we're easier to control. It's good to have different viewpoints. You vote for this one, vote for that one. But if we become too insulated, too much where we're resilient of another's ideas, it's not good. Says me. Any other opinions? You can heckle me. You can comment good or bad. I'm okay with it. Give me a thumb up or down. Yeah, exactly. Like Howie says, boom, a food forest is now up. Exactly. See? There you go. Howie's got it down to a science of how to even speak it out. Okay, I'm not quite as diligent. I'm not quite as handy with the words as Howie at expressing it, but we got the same thing in mind. Me and Howie are going to start with the West Coast, okay? Anybody wants to help in whatever way you can. Now, watching our videos helps. Let me say this differently. Playing our videos helps. If you hate the video, play it when you're doing your laundry or taking a shower or whatever. When you go to the store, have it playing on your computer. So, any way you can help is greatly appreciated by me and Howie. We're going to light up this West Coast with good ideas and build good soil up and down the coast and food forests, and we're going to make it happen the best we can, and everybody else can join if they want, and do other good things too. We'll bring back some local publishing in the U.S. and in Canada. Everything don't have to be made in China. We can support our local people. We have vibrant local economies. Well, we have a vibrant agricultural sector. Okay. Yeah. Well, Howie has a very nice pamphlet. Growing the sticky. Oh, I see. Hey, you know what? We're legal for growing cannabis here. And I'm all for if somebody wants to do it, use it in whatever fashion they like. And great. Oh, hi, Shutterbug. Mary, hang out a while. I'd like to get you involved in this whole permaculture project too. We need photographers and videographers and editors, and we're going to build this thing out. We're going to do good for everybody. I mean, some people are going to be intimidated by that because, you know, maybe you won't be a billionaire. But what if you live a very rich life? What if you have better than, say, in a year or two than you have now with less struggle? You know, a happier existence and your, you know, better resources. Thanks for coming by, Shutterbug, by the way. You know, I really appreciate it. Anybody, you know, plays my video. If you watch it, even better. But if you don't have time or feel like watching it, just play it. That's fine. Any bit of, if somebody wants to come by later and play the play this on replay, comment, thumb up, down. I don't think it can go sideways, but sideways if they have it. Any bit of that is fine. If you can share my link, you can drop your link in the comments, you name it. Any way you can think to support is greatly appreciated. Yeah, you've been out taking a lot of pics there, I think, Mary, Shutterbug Infinity. But you're always welcome to come up on the panel. I hope you know that. And, you know, I say this a lot to people, but I think if more people come to the Bay Area, there's a lot of people that are wealthy here. So therefore, to me, it means there's more opportunity to make your business go better here than places where there isn't as much. So people take it different ways, but I'm always telling people, hey, come here. There's 106 billionaires in the Bay Area. So that means there's a lot of 100 millionaires and 500 millionaires and all that, I would think. And, you know, the sooner you can do well, the sooner you can put your good efforts back into the world. It's like that. If I would have done well financially a long time ago, I could have done a lot better for my efforts. But at this point, it's not about me, you know. So if I do well or don't do well personally, that's all right. But I want to build up this institute for others to do well. We can work as a group more and as a spending block, you know, cooperative, food buying, whatever, many forms this can take, and we can all do better together. Many aspects of this. Yeah, I need to get into the green juices. I've been doing the green powder. I've been actually putting in my food instead of drinking it, so I don't have to worry about it mixing well because it just mixes in, and don't cough and stuff on it. Yeah, thank you, MB. Any little bit of support is greatly appreciated. One thing, you know, the bigger I grow the channel, yeah, you know, I would like to be monetized, but it's not the be all end all. The be all end all is make this thing grow and grow and grow and grow and then reach more people. And I go on live streams and try to reach more people and bring them in. Because growing the channel is about the more it grows, the more they loosen up the filters, to more people get access to this that maybe haven't even heard about it. And we can do a lot bit more things with more density of people. So that's the thing. If and when I make money on this YouTube, I'm going to pour it into the Pacific Permaculture Institute. So it's not going to go in my pocket. Now, of course, I'm going to try to shave money off of my food budget. If I can get my food budget down to zero, I can dump that money into the Institute. So that's the thing too. Oh, thank you, The Best Life. I do that for people too. Once I get on a roll, there's several that I'm watching now because I watch somebody's for a while, then a couple weeks or whatever, and then I kind of give it a rest and I go to somebody else. And hi, Brett, how long have you been there? If you've been
no, not very long.
So, okay, because I was going to say,
seconds. No.
If ever you're there and it's a few minutes and I haven't noticed, you just comment because I will eventually notice a comment.
Okay.
Hey, I'm over here. Yeah. I'm knocking on your door. Where are you?
But on the topic earlier, you're talking about buy local. This is the company. Can you see the name of it? This is the company that makes metal and leather wallets, and they're made out of Bellingham, Washington. If you want to play local, and this one's actually like not painted. It's like you see me scratching. It's like a melanite is what they call it, coating that makes the metal stronger, and then it penetrates the actual molecules or something, or like of the metal. It's like a dipping process, and then it's not actually painted, so this will never like wear off.
Some high tech type.
And then I'll show you what it does.
That we personally would
be bills back here. There's a little thing, and then
so is it
cards go on the front? And it's adjustable, and there's a little coin slot here on this piece.
Does it block RF? In other words, does it keep somebody from having
you can get a little card that goes in it for like a few bucks. It'll block your freaking stuff.
Yeah, I have a leather looking wallet that I ordered that was RF. What do they call it? RFI or RF blocking or something.
They have one that is.
See, it looks like regular. Supposedly it blocks, right? But I won't know if I get hacked, then I'll know it doesn't work. Yeah. But till then, I realized after I got it, how will I know that it's working? you know, maybe just nobody came to try to hack me near me in the store. But supposedly it is. So if I can, I'll try to get an RF blocking or whatever they call it. And what do you call that? Let me get a pen. I want to write that one down.
I'll show you their website. They're having a flash sale right now.
Nice.
And all the walls are hand cut out, hand assembled in Bellingham, and they actually show you like 5,000 American jobs they've made.
Oh, that's wonderful.
And this company was a Kickstarter company. And now the company, when I bought them, they only had like a few wallets out. And then now they've got like the original 2.0 Armored Summit, Access Wallet, Zippered Renegade Wallet. That's something I can show you. I'll get my screen shared and show you. This company is pretty amazing. They have a good story.
Sounds like it. It's already sounds good. I haven't heard much of it, but
you can pull it up and go.
Here, I can put that up. Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, and it's just like their homepage. It says durable sun wallets and outdoor gear, and they make like this is an armored one. There's
what's the name of the company?
That one, because what it is when they cut them out. See that's the newer version of the one I have right there. The Access one has a different like pull on it than mine, but it's the same design. But what it is they cut them out like that on their wallet, so you can like some of them like this one and this one, so you can actually not have to take your wallet out when you show your ID. But I took my ID out because I want to show it on the internet, of course.
Oh yeah.
But there's that one, and I'll show you like all their shop wallets. Like they got more wallets like that one, this one that's like half leather, half metal. The Explorer Passport wallet. This one.
If I can get a trifold, see, I have my TWIC card. I have to have at the port and stuff, but I put in that spot. So then, I just flip it out and you can see it. So something like that. Maybe. What do they call it? The company again?
The company is in. See if I can find their history about it.
Oh, just tell me the name of it.
Trayvax, Trayvx. About, and it says here we go. It says to design a longevity inspired to action and give our passion to drive a greater love for the outdoors to humankind. Trayvax started by founder Mark King in 2013. Years earlier, Mark set out to create a product that would cut down the plastic bag waste, which began as a reusable plastic bag carrier and became, throughout many prototypes and revisions, something completely new to the world. The Trayvax wallet, designed to withstand the toughest conditions and the most quality of any wallet, metal otherwise.
Something way different.
Yeah, and then it says on the market anywhere. Trayvax wallets are built from the highest quality materials and made by hand in the U.S. Just a few years ago, Mark was matching every tray vac wall or making every tray vac wall by hand and powder coating the aluminum faceplate with a small countertop oven. Today, Travax is over 25 employees working together, assembling, packaging, and shipping several hundred wallets a day. Having expanded the line to include the Element, Summit, Contour, and Axis models, as well as a host of top-line accessories, which we grow and excited to reveal in the coming months. And then it says like somehow, like indirectly or directly, they've created 500 American jobs.
Wow, that's great.
It's like Travax vision, 500 American jobs for American families. It said Travax
says, yeah. Wow.
And there's the owner right there. He actually talks on his website and stuff. And he's not very old. He's probably like in his 30s or something. The owner
that's embarrassing. I'm older and I didn't do nothing.
Yeah. So like here's one for the ladies. If the ladies want like the clutch, there's a clutch they make. Look at that. You can tie it. It's a clutch and it like folds out and holds your cards and your like chapstick or whatever in it.
Yeah. Wow. That's a prerequisite for, like, hey, you want me to take you out, you better have a Trademark wallet or clutch.
Yeah. I can tell you these are durable. I've had one for like 4 years.
That's prerequisite material for a date. Otherwise, I don't know. You don't have a Travax.
Yeah, you don't have a Travax. Yeah. And they're nice wallets. They tell you what I'll go to the one like I have, which is the newer version. It has a different like pull on it, but it's the same design. But that's like a color is like, it looks like it's like beat up. The metal. The one I have is like the melanite one. That's the same one. And then they make a like kind of like a dark olive green one, but it tells you what they're like made out of. You can return within 30 days.
Warranty? Cool. That, in other words, my lifetime. I won't use it up.
Yeah, and it says military and responder members get 10% off.
Wow.
So they support the military. He's a good dude. You listen to like him talk. That's how I saw like the first thing. I was watching a video and I heard him talk. So I was looking for wallets at the time, like 4 years old, over new wallets, and I go, oh, and I stumbled across this one. And then I saw the video about his story. This is like his YouTube video.
Neat.
And this one's a bifold.
Wallet
that I have. I'm gonna stop sharing. But this wallet's a bifold.
That's really cool.
Yeah, and it opens up. Yeah, and then it's like really durable.
I've said for a while, by little means, this and that, we can support a lot of American businesses,
local companies, and then like
maybe we can't do the big things, but maybe we could just do the cases that the phone comes in and the wallet and the, start making bicycle tubes again or bicycle tires too, and it sounds like a little thing. How many bicycles are there out there in this country?
Yeah.
Millions. Millions. Right?
Like
these so-called little things, they add up.
Yeah.
So I've been saying that for a while.
And then there's like, for example, like where I live, Seattle's got a pretty big like biking community. And then Portland, Oregon, like south of where I live, has a really big bicycle community. They had bike lanes back when I was a little kid. They had bike lanes on their streets.
Really?
And then people bike around all the time. Like one of my uncles, he's like 70, I think he's like 76 or 77. He bikes like about once a month, like on a long bike ride. Probably goes like 10, 15, 20 miles. He's like freaking old. I mean, that's pretty old. Like I think he's 77. And he bikes around. Of course, he's crashed. Everybody crashes once in a while on their bike, but
yeah.
He crashed and like broke his arm one time. But
right, like he tried to avoid a car. It wasn't there, half a minute ago when I looked up.
Yeah, but he has like a pretty nice bike.
You don't notice as much maybe when you're old.
And that's what like a lot of keeps him in shape, because he used to, that uncle that I had used to run, used to be like a jogger, but then from probably like in his mid-50s stopped jogging. It was just hard on his ankles and his knees and his feet.
Yeah, sure. It's better to just walk and do moderate exercise. Hey, you know what? Grow some food. That's exercise, and you get healthy food. That's the thing. I mean,
or just like walk really fast somewhere. Just like if you live somewhere, just go like you can just walk out your door and walk like down the street. And like if you live close to something, you just go to like the store and walk instead of driving, or go to like a restaurant and walk. But walk fast, so you get your heart rate up a little bit.
Run down to the neighbor's fruit tree and pick some of the best fruit before he notices.
Steal some of his apples. You steal some of his like expensive apples. Yeah, like steal some of his Honeycrisp apples. That's what we used to do. We used to
Poor guy's working 612s or something, hasn't noticed that when apple's even there, it's all nice and ripe. You snatch it off of there and just walk back.
And you just walk back and just wear some like green clothes with wear your real tree camo.
Camo. You're all
camo so you blend into the trees. But speaking of that, one of my mom's aunts lived in Yakima, Washington.
Culturist.
Yeah, one of my mom's aunts lived in Yakima, Washington, and she actually lived next. Well, she had an orchard too. She probably had like a 2.5, 3 acre orchard of apples, and like she had like I think she had a pear tree, she had a cherry tree, and then but she had like a mix of like different types of green apples. Well, the neighbor next door had probably about a 6 or 7 acre farm, something like that, and it was all Honeycrisp apples. So like sometimes we would like mosey on over because her driveway went in between the bigger part of her orchard and then the smaller like left side, but then next to the right side when you're driving her driveway was a nice Honeycrisp apple. So we'd go over there and steal like a grocery sack full of them sometimes. But the guy didn't really.
If they're going to go to waste anyway, it's really not that.
They're going to waste. He was like, well, after he was like, well, he didn't really mind too much. He's like, well, they're probably just going to get wasted anyways.
Yeah.
And
hi, Arkansas Woodcutter. Thanks for coming by, Mark. How's the RV hauling biz doing? I've been watching some of your garden stuff. I'm trying to catch up. I've been having a bunch of channels I'm trying to watch your videos of, so it's been a little daunting. But I'm going to catch up with you.
And I got a question for you. Do you know a guy?
I didn't really tune in during the Shed Wars, but I like the theme of it now that I get it. I didn't quite get it. It didn't gel in my brain at the time, but it's incredible. Mark himself produced like 1,400 pounds of produce this year.
Oh, geez.
Let alone all his partners in his team, it's like tremendous. Anyway, go. I don't want to interrupt you.
Did you or do you know a guy named Breaking Traditions?
No.
Oh, you gotta go to his channel because he lives up in the Georgia mountains, and he lives in an off the grid house, and it's pretty fascinating because like he goes on live stream and he goes, well, keep my phone running. I have to run it off my car battery.
I think I've come across it. Oh no, I'm thinking of.
Breaking Traditions goes to
Stacy did
my stream. He goes to like.
They say when I drive to town, I charge up the phone or something like that.
Yeah,
they have electricity all in their place.
Yeah, he doesn't have. He has electricity, but he like for example, like sometimes he'll come to my live stream and he'll be just chatting. He goes, well, I got to go chop wood now because I need to start a fire. So that's the only way he keeps warm is a wood stove he has, and his house is 16 feet long by 10 feet wide is all it is.
I like that idea. I just don't know if I'm energetic enough to live that way.
Yeah, it's a lot of work. You have to chop wood.
Instead of giving me money for renting the room, chop the wood.
Yeah, he has to
hook up the heat.
He has to chop wood when he runs out of wood. He has to go back there and split it or whatever, and then cut into smaller chunks so he could when it starts getting cold. It's starting to get cold down. You go chop some wood. I'll just stay in the background or whatever, and he's like chopping wood. It's crazy. And then he has he's done videos because he had a cool channel. He's done videos on like his Catahoula leopard dog. He has one of those.
That's my best life.
Yeah.
I had a big old beard till about a week ago, and I was watching Arkansas Woodcutter, and the old lady said, hey, he looks just like you. And I said, you know what? I only watch people that look like me. They have a big old beard and all this. And son of a gun, right after that, I found a couple channels where people had a big old hanging beard too that I liked.
Yeah, and Breaking Traditions has a big old beard.
Funny. Mine was looking awkward because we have to wear the mask in stores and everything all the time, and it was kind of the beard was overwhelming it, and somebody made a comment at work, kind of heckling me. But then I started noticing it really looked awkward. So maybe it's time to shave it for a while, but I like having it. But I was saying, hey, if people support the channel enough, I can grow the beard back.
Yeah.
I thought maybe to kick up just beard enthusiasm, but I guess I'm just not one of the Beard Brothers anymore. Darn it.
And that, you know what's fascinating about that Breaking Tradition? I was talking to my live stream, like a while back, and he was saying that he knows like Tickle and from that show Moonshiners. He actually knows in real life, and he knew Popcorn Sutton and all them old Moonshiners. So it's fascinating.
I don't know about them shows because I've kind of been off TV a lot since the 90s. So I got rid of my cool show. 92 or something.
It's about illegal moonshine and that they do in the mountains of like, oh God, what are the mountains?
Is it the Adirondacks or?
No, it's just the ones that are in the West Virginia.
West Virginia mountains. Is it Blue Ridge or something? Or
I have no idea. And then there's one guy that does it in North Carolina, the moonshine, but pretty.
Yeah, that makes at least two of us.
He knows the guys.
He goes where California's at.
Yeah, that Breaking Tradition goes. I was supposed to go to the Moonshiners freaking like they have a big Moonshiners like
festival
rally or whatever. It's like a big Moonshiners festival that people go to, and they talk about moonshine and they make it and they bring their own moonshine and people drink it.
I'd like to get somebody over at my place to teach how to make it, and then we could fuel vehicles with it and stuff.
Yeah, you could because it's like ethanol is 85% moonshine.
You could everything use say like rubbing alcohol. You could use regular alcohol. They made rubbing alcohol and alcohols that were deadly to us to drink during Prohibition. They purposely, the government funded these type of things. Why not just have something you could drink too or run your car off of?
Yeah.
Just have one.
But you know what? You kind of speak of that. My brother, like probably 5 or 6 years ago, he had a Toyota, and he was looking on the internet and reading while watching YouTube videos, and he turned his you can buy conversions, and he took his 84 Toyota pickup that he only off-roads because it's like set up for off-roading, and he runs it off. He did a propane conversion on it, so his truck runs off of propane, which actually is cleaner burning. It's a closed system, so when you're on angles, it doesn't matter because like a carburetor that was on his vehicle would have like cut out a little bit when he was on a severe angle. And plus two, the propane is cleaner burning than gasoline because you can't even see it coming out of the exhaust. You can be right up next to the exhaust. You won't even be affected. Hardly.
But now, does he have fuel injection? How does that work if he does?
No, because you take like a carbureted motor, or you could take the whole fuel injection off, which is a lot of work. But he had a carbureted 22R motor on his Toyota, and then he just took the carburetor off. What it does is it's a pressurized system, so it's closed. So when you're like up on a steep hill, on a side hill, it never cuts out. It still gets runs just as good.
Okay, MB, thanks for coming by anyway.
Bye, MB.
Thanks for your support.
And it's just better fuel.
You can tell us. We won't heckle you too much. Not while you're here.
but like propane, I wouldn't do it on like your street vehicle because you can get it for like Volkswagens and all kinds of other like Volkswagen Bug. But I wouldn't street vehicle because not very many places have propane.
Years ago, I knew a guy that had these big propane tanks on his truck that I worked with, and he wanted to sell it to me. He could have both. He flipped the switch, and because he said it sometimes, I think starting he had a hard time sometimes. He started on the gas, and then he could flip it once you're running. But I didn't see the advantage. Yeah, I didn't know if it burned cleaner or what.
Yeah, it burned cleaner. Propane
you have to have a short loop, in other words, around the propane tank you're going to fill up to, right?
Yeah, you will. What the deal is, that's why I wouldn't recommend putting it on your street vehicle, because my brother has on a vehicle that's trailered only, because it's like not legal for street, because it had big 41-inch tires on it and like no fenders, and it's got like the like half the stuff is custom. Well, but what it is, it does burn a lot cleaner. That's why when part of the reason why they started going to like years ago, started going to propane barbecues, gas grills, because it burns cleaner. It's better for the environment.
But it's even better. Just hook up you get a grill that's natural gas. Just plug right into your house, natural gas, and you don't have to tote that tank around either.
Yeah, but also you can just do pellet grills too. Just burn straight wood. And what they do is they take
about when you had the charcoal briquettes and stuff. I guess they had some chemical in there to make it burn better or something, and giving off that flavor. And as we became more gourmands in this country, apparently, with more chef shows and everything, it seemed like
my dad and my brother have pellet grills. And, the pellets they use for them, a lot of times they're recycled from like old wood they don't want, so they're reusing like old wood,
Cool.
making into little like inch long, 3/4 of an inch long pellets.
Yeah, my dad had a pellet stove that was just to keep the place warm.
Yeah, keep the place warm in the house. Yeah.
Room, and it produced pretty good heat.
Yeah.
Of course, when we're there, we had like 26 adults usually, so there's a lot of body heat too.
Yeah, a lot of body heat. Yeah.
And it get too hot because you get it going, there's nobody there, and then you get 26 adults up in there eating and carrying on, and it warm up pretty good.
But like those pellet grills, they're using like a lot of times you can actually buy pellets that, and most of them are just recycled wood, and then they're wood shavings. They're like molded together.
Neat.
So they're good for the environment. And plus, too, just off of eating stuff that comes off of one of those, it's amazing. Stuff tastes like really good.
Oh, I had no idea.
Yeah.
I'm not much of a griller, but interesting.
And plus, too, it's you can cook other stuff on there because it has like usually the temperature range of an oven, so it can go from like at least most pokers go at least 200 to 500. So you can like cook anything on there. You can. Well, my dad's a few times I made blackberry crisp on it. Oh my god.
Interesting.
Yeah, and then I've cooked macaroni and cheese on my brother.
Cooking it on the stove, huh?
Yeah. And what it does too is it's just like an outdoor oven. And plus, if you have a pellet grill and you want to cook in the winter, you can just put like a welding blanket over it, or just buy the little thing that goes over the top, and it'll help keep the heat in when it's like really cold outside.
Oh, okay.
And if I was doing it, if I had a house, I'd buy one of those instead of an oven. I'd get like a standalone like stove to cook in the house, and I'd buy one of those for the oven and just keep it right by the door. So you just only walk out the door and then come back in.
Exactly. That's a pellet grill, you say?
Yeah, it's like a pellet grill / smoker because it's it looks like a barbecue, but it has like a box on the side with like a control panel, like electronic readout on it. And then you put the wood pellets in the like box on the side, and then what it does is every so often when you have it turned on, it augers the pellets into this little like, I don't know what they call it, there's a name for it, the little round thing in the middle of it where the flame is, and then it puts so many in there and it burns. And what it does too is
the worm screw. They call it like a worm screw. Yeah,
and then it also has like a fan in the back, so when you have it on, it circulates the air around the food, and you can hear it like go for like a couple seconds or a few seconds every time it augers them in if you're up close to it.
Sounds like it's very similar to the pellet stove, except for that you just redirect the heat to cook something with it.
Yeah, and then it can you can cook anything on it, like ribs, chicken, vegetables if you want, fish, anything that's grillable like on a regular barbecue, or like in your oven. You can cook anything you can cook in your oven. Like you can put glass in there and cook like a casserole dish, and cook like, if you wanted to, you could cook like vegetables. Like if you wanted to, like I did asparagus and a whole beer can chicken on it, and for was it Mother's Day? I think it was Easter.
Interesting.
Yeah.
A lot of different ways to do things. That sounds cool.
Yeah.
I have a solar oven I have never fired up. I've had for about 3 years too. I want to try out when probably too late in the year now. I'll try it one day anyway. But
I'll have to try it in the like probably late
warm out here. But I want to try just cooking anything, cook rice and just see how it comes out.
And now
that could be the thing where I'm at. I have a big curved driveway, and I could put it out there just a few hours later, or figure out how long it'll take. And, I'll go out there. The rice is done. I have to look over it and all that.
Now here's another funny thing.
They make meat too. Some people cook meats in solar cookers, but I'm not so trusting. But yet.
Now here's the thing you can do if it's not like, I know Cal, where you live probably doesn't get as hot as Southern California.
Yeah, not quite.
No, but one thing you can do if it's hot in the summer. One of my mom's cousins did this when we were visiting him. He took but he was like bored, and he's like, "Oh, I got a potato," and he's like just sitting there, and he goes, "Got a clever idea." He took potato, covered in aluminum foil, set it outside in the sun for like probably 4 or 5 hours, and it baked the potato.
Oh, neat.
So,
just beside the foil.
Yeah, and then you just put like butter and bacon on it and sour cream and some cheese and ate it.
I've been thinking about alternatives for a few years.
Mm.
I had a cooking class, and I was supposed to heat up, some chocolate to make a design. I thought, I had this bag of semi-sweet chocolate chips I put on the dash of my Ford Ranger truck I used to have and melted it, and then I did it.
Oh yeah,
The bag cut the corner, so it's like a pastry bag, and it made it simple. And I thought, look, I'm saving either electricity or gas or something, right? And so I've been concocting these things for a while. I just haven't engaged in all of them.
Here's another funny one you can do if you have a like a hot propane torch. You can. I saw it on that show. With that Gold Rush where they're up and it was like 30 degrees outside. This was like late winter, like going into spring, and it was still like 30 degrees and it was warming up. Well, they got an idea where they took these trays of food they got, and then it had like a paper top and aluminum sides, and it had like ribs and other stuff in it. They took a torch and set the thing down and heated it up with a torch, and they heated the food up in the inside.
Oh, neat. I have one of them they call a weed burner. We use that in construction. If somebody's going to weld, they heat up these big columns to a certain temperature. They use that propane torch. And I got one literally to toast the weeds that are in the cracks of the sidewalk and stuff. But I could try it with that too. And I'm going to try burning my half barrels, because I saw a thing where if you burn wood, supposedly it doesn't rot as quick. Even though they're oak, they do tend to rot a little bit.
Yeah.
And, instead of maybe 2-3 years, maybe I can get 5-6 years out of them.
And then another thing that's an old trick too is if you have like any car, find them a hot part of the motor, and then take your food and wrap it up good in like a container, or like wrap it up in like a few layers of aluminum foil and stick it on like the manifold or like some hard part of your engine, and let it sit there for a while, and it'll cook your food. They call it when they do it with meat, they call it muffler meat.
Oh, okay. I've heard something similar to that when they used to have the flat, because my family goes back a ways, right? That, in this country and all that, so it's simpler. Anyway, they're talking about they put stuff on the head of the motor, because they had flat heads back then.
Yeah.
If it was flat, you put your coffee, whatever, and they didn't talk about actually cooking, but just as far as heating something up.
Yeah, heating stuff up, and you can actually cook food, but it takes a while. Because I saw that guy on Andrew Zimmern on Bizarre Foods. He went on a snowmobile expedition, and they cooked I think it was like ptarmigan or something, or some like little bird, and it took like 8 hours to cook it, but it was cooked by the time they got done.
Maybe they get Arkansas to do an experiment for us. He's hauling RVs all over the place. He's out in the cold, but that motor's hot. I bet he could try something and get back to us and make a video. And
yeah,
are you still here, Mark?
Drive like 4 hours or something,
because that motor's heating up. He's going to 500 miles or something. I mean,
yeah, the motor's heating up hot, and another thing to do is you can.
Get hungry. It's already cooked.
Buy like
get hungry the whole way, huh?
go to like a gas station and buy like something that's already cooked. All you gotta do is heat it up, and then drive like maybe an hour or two, and it'll heat your food up for you.
That would be cool.
Yeah,
you're going to be driving anyway. Why not? I mean, if you have to drive just to heat it up, then maybe it's not worth it. But
yeah,
if you're already driving, you're kind of recycling your time too, because you're making food.
Yeah,
thanks for stopping by. Thanks for your support of the
Forest
Food Institute.
Food Forest.
Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm.
I like ideas like that. If you're already doing something, it's not hurting anything. You're recycling the energy.
Mm-hmm. It's like a way to reuse the energy. Yeah,
it's like I thought for a while, going back a ways, probably 20 years. I thought to have an old car you could make like a greenhouse in it, because it's all windows.
Mm-hmm.
Cut it and put some shelves in there, and it's on wheels. Leave it on the wheels, so it's on rolling stocks. You can move it here and there.
Mm-hmm.
Just set up some pipes and stuff in there, and I mean, you have to be in the neighborhood where the neighbors can't give you too much heck, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's a way to make a portable greenhouse, an old van or a car or something,
Kind of on that point. Have you seen that? Have you ever seen the show, the Alaska, the Last Frontier?
No, I haven't seen that one.
Well, it's a show about homesteaders where one of the family members got a homestead a long time ago, and he was like 100. It was like, I don't know, it was like 160 acres or something. And then they all the rest of the family moved up there like a long time ago. Well, here's one thing that's kind of cool about it is it's Singer Jules' dad's side of the family, so it's most of his side of the family. And then I'll watch one of the episodes, and they did a thing where his one of the guys, which is I think it's I don't know if he's older or younger, one of Jules' brothers, built this portable chicken coop thing. So it was on wheels and it had like a handle on it. So you could stuff the chickens in there. If you needed to haul them, you could just haul them around to wherever you wanted. And then
we call that the chicken tractor.
Yeah.
It's because they kind of till up the area and fertilize as they go, right? And eat the weeds.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then so
you can contain them so they don't eat the stuff you're trying to eat.
Yeah, and then it had like little wheels on it, and he actually made one by hand, and they pulled around their yard.
Cool.
Yeah, and there's like cool shit they do. But one time on one of the shows, like a few years ago, what they do is this family's really creative, and when they like Christmas comes around, and then they all gather around each other, and they all get a different there's probably about I don't know 10 or 12 adults. They all get around, and they all do Christmas like it's like kind of like a white elephant, but you pick someone's name, then they draw. When they draw someone's name, you got to think of a gift to give them. So it's probably like a week or two before Christmas. What they do is they all make handmade gifts. So one year, this one guy got one of Jules' brothers, and I think it was one of his like it was like Jules' cousin or like brother-in-law or something, and he made one of the guys a handmade crossbow for the guy. And it was pretty amazing. They're shooting like 30 yards away, and they're shooting a target with it when they're showing it on the show. I'm like, man, that's awesome. I want a handmade crossbow.
They had fun too. You know? Gee.
Yeah, and they all make and then one lady canned some food and like this real canned food and gave it to the person she got, the name she drew. And it's just fascinating. And it's just fascinating to watch the show because they have to learn how to herd, and they have like cattle. And they have to do everything like when an animal gets like infection, they have to handle it themselves because they live so far away that they can't just take the animal down to the vet. Like when they have a bull or a cow when they had a cow get a big like abscess and they had to pop it themselves. The pus came out, it was gross, but they had to handle it themselves because they can't do it because there's no. It's like probably like 500, 600 miles from the nearest veterinarian.
Yeah, I had some on me before, and trust me, this thing they tore loose, and I had to go into the hospital taking antibiotics, but it was about like that green. Oh, like the green stuff. It hurt. I had to get. I kind of jogged a little bit because that kind of tore it open purposely, so it would because I'm like, how did? Because it's a big old sack, and then. Yeah, it hurt, but I pushed it, and I started pushing it out little by little over a few days, and it looked like some kind of like a lime, maybe like that, or lime green or something. It was gross, but it sure felt better to do it. And so I know kind of what that's disgusting, but it felt good.
Yeah, you have to do it
because you're getting healthy. Otherwise, it has to process all the way through your whole body, and you have to urinate it out, or it has to come out somehow, right? So. If it doesn't come out direct, it's going to take a lot longer to get out of your system.
Yeah. And then it's like crazy. I had an infection before in my finger. I'm not going to get that, but I had like yellowish pus coming out of it.
I had like green too when I was a kid. Get like little slivers in my fingers because there's a place where there's all this wood where I'd play because it was the fun place, right? And all these slivers, they get kind of infected. It was gross. But anyway, that's the thing. Yeah, you gotta when you're farther out, you gotta learn them skills. Yeah. You know what? As the economics, assuming the economics, they tend to be going lower all the time for us. We need to learn more skills. Yeah. We need to skill up so we can still thrive, not just survive. That's kind of something happens too. We can grow food and make it really hard on ourselves to grow it, or we can grow it and grow a lot more for the amount of work type outlook, and eat healthier and better and all this and connect it to other things. So that's part of the thing, having a more vibrant, robust life than just oh, I'm slaving away forever and I have one nice apple I could pick. No, you want to have a more vibrant, that's why I'm saying, like, I'd like to get a singer. I was listening to the Hapsters the other night from my phone, and she had some singer on there. I'd like to get people like that on this channel. So when I have a live, even if I have to give them a couple bucks to come sing, and then they get a little exposure, as this channel grows, they'll get more exposure. And I just try to incorporate all these good things together. It's this ambrosia thing.
Yeah, because I know. See if I can get one, because I know some good singers that I actually had her on my. I don't know if you watched my last stream at all, or in the background. Yesterday I had a really good singer on named Miss Ella Segovia, and if I actually DM with her and talk to her, and she's an amazing singer. If you could just go back and watch my last stream. She's probably like, I don't know what, you have to look at the time, but
I'm going back to your lives because they're so long, Brett.
Yeah.
I mean,
I can see if I can show you the time when she was on.
I thought I'm going to start watching Brett's and playing Brett's lives, and I looked, and just about every one was 8 hours, and I'm like, whoa.
Yeah, that's what I do. I go along.
That's cool, but I mean, it's a little daunting for me to go, well, I can't commit to playing your archive because it's just like, wow,
yeah,
a year,
I should show you that. I should find the next. If I can find that.
I was looking at the Hapsters thing again tonight, and I found that one was Song for Anna or something like that.
Yeah, she's really good. Yeah.
And I thought, look, she's in the Philippines. She's probably not doing that great, but I could support her a little bit. And I know American money goes farther there too.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of approaching her and saying, hey, look, come sing. I don't know, maybe $20 or something at a time. Maybe she'll go for it and give me some more content and give her some more exposure, and send her a little bit of money. I mean, I don't have a phenomenal job that I could just spend tons of money either. That's the thing. So
she has been on. I know Songs for Anna really well too. She's been on my. I think I know it's at least once but twice, because it's hard for her because she lives in the Philippines. I start my stream when it's like middle of the night for the Filipinos, and she's been on my panel though, and then she sings really well, and she probably would do it because that's her passion in life, is to sing. She'll sing whenever.
I'd like to make this a hub for all, like I say, the ambrosia of permaculture, and everybody, just make things better for as many aspects of life as I can, and make them where they're regenerative, support your local, whatever, ukulele maker, or everything ties in, and get it from wood that's not degrading the environment. It's helping everything regenerate properly. And, we can tie all this in and still live pretty comparable to how we live. It's just how we do it.
And now here's one. Speaking of that, like local products, that every Saturday after Black Friday, the day after Black Friday is some Small Business Saturday. So you what it is to go to your community or wherever you live and find a local business that you like, and buy something from there on that Saturday to support your local community. So the small businesses don't die off.
Correct.
And
Black Friday is the day after Thanksgiving.
Yeah, and then the day after that is Small Business Saturday. With what it's called. There's actually you can look up hashtag Small Business Saturday and read more about it. But it's to support your local, like, mom and pop business, or like.
I like that. I hadn't heard of that term, but nice.
Yeah, and then like I try to support some small business like every year. And if I just go to like a teriyaki place or something and buy some food, it's supporting a local business.
Exactly. And every little bit helps. Every little bit really adds up more than we realize.
And well, I'm not living by the hobby shop now, so I'm still in the hotel because of the fire in my apartment, blah, blah, blah. But
and that's the good thing too about getting used things sometimes instead of just new, because a lot of things like old furniture was made here. I think recycling may be helping some. I got this I think it's really cool, this kind of a wrought iron lamp at a thrift store that was for a hospice entity, right? So supporting them, I'm getting it cheaper. I don't know where it was made originally, but it's supporting them, and I'm recycling something, and you know, putting these things together better. And it's going to look good because I have some wrought iron curtain rod I ordered from an outfit. It offsets the cost of that lamp tremendously, right? But made here and all this. But I thought, well, that lamp is at a good price, supporting the thrift shop and yada, yada, yada. I write all this good stuff together and I get it. And it was on sale. It was like 15 and 60% off lamps that day. And I just happened to walk in there and look. Like, wow, $6 and it works. And the light bulb works. And I plugged it in to try it. And wow, cool.
Oh, that's cool.
So I like connecting the dots, you know?
And I know one of my, I know a lady that used to, when she was living up here, because now she lives like, they moved to 2 different states because her husband relocated with his job and blah, 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 with IKEA. Because he used to work at my IKEA that I work at, it's just right down the road from the hotel I'm staying at right now. And well, she, for like 2 years, 2.5 years, she ran a small business. And what they did is she would buy like furniture. And then, well, the part of the business was she would buy like used furniture and then like paint it and put different knobs on it and make it look like it's old or whatever, and then resell it. Or she would also get like if someone had an old antique they wanted to get rid of or whatever, and they would put it in her shop, and then they would get a little bit cut, like a partial cut of the price, and then she would make a profit off of it, or she would get maybe like 20% or something, or 10% of the price of whatever she sold it for. And like, remember when her husband that I've known since I was a little kid, his dad was moving and trying to get rid of stuff out of his house, and he had a bunch of old like Vietnam War stuff, like an old like ham radio and a bunch of old cool like stuff. And so he put it in there and she was selling it. But then she, of course, when they moved from Washington to Texas, she doesn't have a store anymore, and she started working at IKEA also. Just a job, and could have a kid and all that.
Right, you got to have some money coming in. You can't just go without money these days.
Yeah, and even when she was running that shop, she did not have. She was only making maybe like not even a lot, maybe like $500 a month or something off the shop. But that's what she loved to do. So she's probably, I don't know if she's gonna do that again or not. You know, because that's what she loved to do. She loved to like take old furniture and like put new knobs on it, new feet on it, repaint it, put like, you know, she used to use that like cool like chalk paint that you put on there and stuff like that. And it's just fascinating. She had a bunch of old antiques, and I remember I went there and bought records from her, like a few records from her, vinyl.
Nice. Yeah, I want to get a audio archive going too.
Yeah, that's cool.
I'm thinking at some point if everything does fabulously well, and I'm thinking in the sense of I have to regard it as they're going to do fabulously well, turn that into kind of an entity, and every aspect of the Permaculture Institute kind of into an entity. So in time, as they become a legal entity, there's advantages to them being separate entities, right? So I have to just conceptualize them right now as a separate entity, so that in time it'll be easier for me to go, oh, this is the audio archive, and this is this, and this is, try to do that. We'll see what happens, but I'm walking towards it. And just, it's a slow process when you have one person trying to build the world type of thing, But what are you going to do, right? Give up? No, that's not an option. I'm still breathing.
No. Yeah. Well, one thing though is we were talking about this on your, I think it was on your panel. Or you're on my panel, I think it was, when we were talking like a couple weeks ago, we were talking about like records and stuff, and we were talking about it. And you need to start out. I mean, I could tell you what like record players are good, and cause I know friends that have record player. I have a friend that has a record player too, and his is like some like vintage kind of like European brand, but the like I still have it, and I think it still works, but I'm still going to claim it on my. I'm still claiming it on my renter's insurance, and it's Audio Technica, and they make good records. They've been making record players since I think 1962.
Wow!
And it's like not a super expensive one, but it's like a middle of the road, and it does like every speed. It has like you can reverse the record player, the actual turntable somehow, and it's got like the variable speed. You can like do the record, and then and then it does, it does like 78, 33, 45.
Neat.
And then it's not good enough. It's direct drive, and then it has like aluminum platter, and then it's got the adjustable. What you want is you're looking for a record player that it's gonna be good. You want one that has an adjustable weight on the back of the tone arm. So like if you ever upgrade to like a different needle cartridge, then you have to adjust the weight because every needle cartridge is a slightly different weight. And what they tell you what you could do is you could buy like one of the little kitchen scales and actually weigh the tone arm, and then figure out what weight it is, so you know how much heavier it is. Then you could kind of go off and go like, oh, maybe I need to turn it like this much. Or what you do is there's a way to do it by just looking at the tone arm and how it falls and balances, and then so like if I, for example, on my record player got a new tone arm, or not tone arm, but a needle cartridge. It's gonna be different. It's like maybe like one or 2 grams or 3 grams. But that makes a whole lot of difference on a record.
I would imagine, yeah. The more pressure, or less pressure.
Yeah, and then you can adjust the weight to pull the tone arm up, or push the front of the tone arm with the needle cartridge on it down on the record.
Somebody was telling me also, if you did it right, it might have been you, I'm not sure. If you did it right, you put like Elmer's glue and you smooth it across the record, and if you do it right and pull it off, it makes it where there's no crackling or anything.
Yeah. And you can watch multiple. How I found out about it was from Sebastian Bach, the singer for Skid Row. There's this YouTube channel that does like they take a celebrity and they put them in a record store and they have them look around, and they do like these cool videos where like these famous artists will go in there, and Sebastian Bach was like looking up bands that he used to listen to and his favorite like rock bands and stuff. And he's like, oh man, I found this one. I've been looking for this one. I already have a copy of it, but my other one's been played a lot, so I want this one to like keep on the shelf. Right. And then he's the one that said, yeah, I was standing in that record store on that video for this YouTube channel. He goes, I saw a video on this and put Elmer's glue on it. And then what you do is you can watch videos. You just put it on the turntable and have it spinning really slowly. And then you like on whatever speed, like 33 speed for a bigger record. And then you just
squeegee it on, right?
Yeah, so, put like four rows of like, I think it was like four rows of like lines of glue on it. And then you take could be like a credit card you don't use anymore, like a library card, and you just like spread it on very carefully, and then you let it dry overnight, and then you slowly peel it off, and then somehow what it does, it fills in the grooves or the scratches get stuck on the glue. I don't know exactly what it does, how it works, but then you peel it off. The video I watched, the guy played the record before, put the glue on it, you hear some like crackle in it, and then he shows the process of putting the glue on, and then he comes back the next morning or whatever, the next day, and he slowly pulls the glue off, and then he plays the record, and the record sounds brand new. I'm like, wow.
Thing I'm thinking, if you figured out how to do it in mass, you could make person could make a side business out of that.
Yeah, you could.
For somebody else.
Yeah, somehow. Yeah,
I mean, you probably couldn't make a lot of money per record, but if you're really into the record, you know what I mean? You tie it in like, hey, do this on the side, and maybe there's some way to put it on lower heat in the dishwasher or something to get that off, or I don't know.
Yeah. And then there's another thing like too, speaking of like records that I don't know if I've told you, I might have told you, but that guy Jack White, who was a pretty famous musician. He was in like the White Stripes, the Recon tours, and he's known for like a unique style of like guitar playing. He gets some crazy sounds out of it. And most of the time he uses like a funky, like a Telecaster, but it's like modified because it has like a whammy bar on it, and it's like modified. But he started a company called Third Man Records, and it's a record pressing company. Really? And it's up in, I believe it's in San Francisco, or by where you live, and they press records because he's one of the people that wants to keep the record alive, because he's into old what do I call that, like old audio technology, and like he wants to media, so he wants to keep that alive. So he has a record pressing company, and they press I don't know, maybe like a million records a year.
Wow, that's a lot, I think.
Yeah. Or something like that, yeah.
Well, maybe compared to the big labels, it isn't, but
yeah,
still, that's an effort there.
Yeah,
Wow.
and then he does. And then I saw him on a show where he was talking about it, and they showed like the inside of it, and someone I think someone took a tour of it, and then also he wanted to keep old technology like audio and music technology alive. So he bought one of those, was built in the '60s, and it's a record booth, and it looks similar to like a phone booth, and you walk in there, and
Uh-huh.
you record. You record us. You like it has a microphone in it. What you do, then you can do like spoken word. You can do comedy. You can
Oh,
like
that's
read it.
like one that wanted to put change in or something way back when and make your own record.
And then what you do is you go in there, and then you put like so much money in it, and you go in there, and then you record whatever you're gonna do. It could be a song. It could be like spoken word. It could be like you're just making like cool sounds or whatever. And then you walk out of there, and then probably like five or 10 minutes later, or 45 pops out, and then it also prints a label out, and you stick a label on it in the center, and it says whatever you want to say on it, like your name and the name of whatever the audio media
Hi,
you put
John
on it.
Baker from North Dakota.
John
Thanks.
Baker.
Welcome. Thanks for coming by the live stream.
And I know him. Yep. You know him too a little bit.
Well, now, but I hope he comes by more often.
Yeah. And then so what you do is he has it at this museum, and now you can go, if you go to this town, wherever it is, I think it might be Nashville or something, you go there and you can pay a certain amount of money, and you can go in there and record something.
Interesting.
And then it gets printed out on a 45 on one side. So you'd have your permanent 45 recorded, and it's pretty cool.
They wouldn't want to hear my shower singing.
No, but they don't want to hear mine either, but it's for you to like archive. It's kind of like what it is.
I'd like to get some of these local people, like these people that are on YouTube that we know, that sing good and make a recording of them. That would be cool. And then sign in the middle or something, and then later I could have it up there and they look. This was when somebody wasn't as popular. Mm-hmm. They sang this. Have 3 different people that are not popular yet. Maybe they'll all be popular. You have them on one record. Wouldn't that be cool?
Yeah, and then I'll show you like you know that.
Then I'll sell it for $20 million and retire.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'll go the opposite of community. Just say like, yeah, put the money in my pocket. I'm gonna retire.
Yeah. And then
100% like
kind of speaking of that, that got me on the topic of thinking about song for Anna again. She actually has her own original recording, and it's a can't remember what it's called. I could pull it up. Go to YouTube, and it's about YouTubers.
Oh, neat.
And it's a song. You gotta look it up. Song.
I've been thinking about this since the other night when I was listening to her sing on there. I concocted this idea. I thought, Mrs. Happ said, "Hey, can you sponsor?" Well, I'm not one of the billionaires. I just always suggest that because I found out there's so many in the Bay Area, and to me that means potential opportunity, because the change that I spend is change. The change that they spend might be 10 or 20 grand, right? So anyway, but meanwhile, it got me thinking, well, maybe I can support in a small way and do my little piece,
Yeah. And the song's called, I don't know what Buhay, Buhay stands for, but it's called Buhay YouTubers. It's about, and of course it's in Tagalog, but it's about YouTubers though.
Okay.
And she wrote.
I have to convert that for my ear, but like I was saying earlier, I'd like all this permaculture thing to be this institute. I'd like to be at I can't even say it in English now. I'd like for it to be able to be multilingual. Have videos, me speaking the English part, somebody talking in the Philippine language, somebody maybe Chinese, maybe Spanish, maybe, several different like that. So it's not just me and English, plus then it doesn't just have to be me. I can just do a part of it. And the other people video and learn video and just incorporate every aspect possible into all this.
Yeah, this was done at DWND FM radio in the Philippines, and she actually wrote the guitar part and the lyrics. But there's another guy that did the song. She must have did
She's
something.
Really talented if she can write too. Did she do the guitar too? You say?
Yeah. She did the acoustic guitar parts too.
You know who does that? well, has always done that, writing songs. Willie Nelson.
Yeah.
You know that song by Patsy Cline, "Crazy"?
Yeah, he wrote it. Yeah.
He wrote it.
Yeah,
I mean,
he wrote a lot of
for a few bucks to get by, and that thing took off. But
yeah. Well, he was supposed to. He was originally going to record it originally, but then they gave it to Patsy Cline to sing it and record it.
it probably wouldn't have took off maybe if he just sang it because he wasn't he was on the outskirts in.
Yeah.
You know,
It wasn't well known then.
Anyway.
He didn't get well known until probably like the 70s, really.
Yeah, 60s, 70s, I guess. And because he could play the guitar, he could write. You know, if you can write, sing, and play the guitar, hey,
yeah,
you keep doing it. I don't think too much can stop you. Especially nowadays, you get all this free media.
Mm-hmm. And
before, I think they really it was a more vast struggle, I think.
Yeah.
Now you could probably do it as a sideline until it kicks, and hopefully it kicks.
Mm-hmm. And this one,
they had to literally go all in back then.
Mm-hmm. And this song's no joke, like 11, almost over 11 minutes. This song that this lady wrote.
Hmm.
And yeah, but it's called Boo Hi. You type, if you want to find it, you type in "Song for Anna." It's SONGFORE, FOR. So it's SONGFORANA, and then you type in, after that you type in BUHY YouTubers, and then it'll pop up on YouTube. And it's her original song, and she shouts at the time. This was like a while. This was like July 15th, just before I knew her. She shouted out YouTube channels on there. She was showing like little like a slideshow of like little videos and stuff, and like people from the Philippines on it, like clips of like people that are like, we need help, and like tragedy that happened to the Philippines and blah blah. But it's about YouTubers, like the YouTube life.
Hi Heidel, welcome back. I know you were on there earlier before anybody showed up. That's this.
What are you talking about, Heidel?
Can't be trusted. He blocked me. Okay. Well, thank you for coming by, Heidel.
Yeah, he's a troll channel.
Oh, okay. Well, you know what? Send 100 more trolls to my channel, if you will. I need more attention. So,
what are you talking about? The Panays don't like me, Heidel. Look, I have more Panay friends than you do. I don't care.
I don't really think Brett is that way from what I get from Brett, but
until right now,
I have channel, express what you feel, and I'm not going to block anybody because I need all the attention I can get to my channel.
Yeah, but I have
trolls send them my way.
I could get a hold of one right now.
You know, send me 99 more trolls, Heidel.
Yeah, and you trash people.
I'll appreciate every bit of it. You can heckle me, but yeah, just don't get too nasty. And you can tell me whatever. People have said one of my video a while back, a couple years ago.
I know I'm not that way because I have
made that well, and I said thank you for coming by. Yep. You know, what are you gonna do?
Yeah. I'm not lying, Heidel. Yeah.
Well, the thing is, the best life is that all life is politics.
Mm-hmm.
It's all political. So I mean,
oh, you call me out, Heidel. Come on.
I can talk major politics or minor politics, but
all you do is troll people, Heidel. It's okay. I know you go to troll channels.
I won't kick you off because that gives you too much power, you know.
Mm-hmm. And I don't do any of that. I can tell you right now, I talk to Filipinas that I'm good friends with all the time. Oh, I'm scared.
NPA?
Heidel threatening me.
What's NPA? Punish NPA. Don't worry about it. You can't worry about the people that are just haters out there.
Yeah, there's hate. I've been getting hate a lot because the bigger your channel gets, the more hate you're going to get. And they don't like it that I'm friends with a lot of Filipinas that are like close to me. No, you
know what? I'm not going to say I'm friends with a lot of Filipinos, but I get along with pretty much everybody.
Yeah, so do I. I'm good friends with Australian.
Channels that originally I started out, I was just trying to look at the permaculture and gardening, and I started branching out, looking at other channels, and if I get a good vibe from you, I tend to come back and watch your stuff.
Yeah, and I can tell you, I'm trusted by a lot of people.
You know,
I have tons of people I talk. I have a lot of people I talk to every day on Messenger that I know from YouTube.
Thanks, Idle. Destroy it all you want. Do whatever you want. It won't stop me, because if you destroy it,
I'm not an old man either.
Thank you, because
I'm
I'll
probably
start
younger than you, Idle.
with better videos than I had 4 years ago when I started. So somebody said, "What if all your stuff gets deleted?" Okay, well, my starting point is better than when I started originally. So no great loss.
I'm not an old man either. Idle. That's
life
fine.
is forward. I'm building something big and good here. So there's people that won't like that I'm doing good. Of course. Look what they did to Jesus. He was a big
shut up.
Walk the earth, if you believe in it. You know,
Idle. People hate you, Idle. That's what you do. You go around to channels and put people down and say they're a liar. And I know I'm not an old man, for one thing. I can tell you, I can show you, I'm 41 or almost 40 years old. I'm 39, born in February 25th, 1981. So, and you can call me that all you want. Your words don't hurt me. I just laugh at trolls like you.
You know, I guess people, that's all they have time for is just be haters. I don't know.
And he said he's going to take down your channel because I'm here. It's like, what?
So be it.
Oh, Heidel, you have no support either.
If this channel suddenly
evaporates either,
I'll start another one, or I won't. But either way, I'll still be around YouTube, and I'll get on lives and
Heidel, quit crying about me, Heidel.
Just start another channel, and I'll make it better.
Why are you worried about what I do, Heidel? Tell you the truth, why are you worried about what I do? You're too worried about what I do, Heidel. Get a life. Seriously.
Exactly. That's my phrase I came up with a couple years ago.
Yeah, and you're obsessed with me and care about what I do more than yourself.
Yeah, we're trying to create something big and good.
Yeah.
And, you know what? If you spend your time trying to create, you don't have the energy to hate. Really, it takes a lot of energy to hate.
And I do live streams every damn day. Not every day, every other day.
I comment things that people don't necessarily agree with or sometimes like, but I don't intentionally just try to slam.
Ooh, I'm scared, Heidel. What are you going to do?
What's NPA? I still don't know what that means. Be punished.
And now you're spamming, Heidel. Ooh.
You're going to be punished by StreamYard or YouTube.
Yeah.
How can they punish someone that doesn't get paid? We're working for free. You're fired. What? Oh, thanks. I'll go work somewhere else for free then.
It is butthurt, Heidel, that I have friends on YouTube and I actually get support, and all you do is go around and troll people and pretend you're friends with people. I know what you do, Heidel. I've seen dozens of you guys on YouTube like that.
Funny.
And you're trying to say I'm a liar and all that. I go, I'm not lying like you are, trying to go into people's chats and make up lies about people. I could get a Panay if I want. You can't get a Panay either, Heidel. Your name's probably not even Heidel either. You probably hide behind that name, Heidel. Trolls. Oh well. Let's not even pay attention to him anymore. He doesn't deserve it.
Yeah. Don't put your energy into all
that. One other thing is like what we were talking about, like records. They're like, if you buy a record player as like grades of record players, the cheaper ones will have a cheaper needle on it.
Yeah.
I didn't say you were gay. And why are you trolling me anyways? Don't you have stuff to do with your life?
Must not. On a Friday night, I thought I didn't have much social life, but got to go trolling on a Friday night. Oh well.
Yeah.
Hey, known, I guess.
I'm not taking the bait, Heidel. I'm not a fish. I'm not a trout. to put it in like sustainable food terms. A trout. That's one thing that is a lost art in the world, is learning how to fish. Because if you learn how to fish, you could go somewhere and get your food and then eat it and then go back and fish the next day if you wanted and get your food.
Exactly. Or you know what? Even it's becoming a lost art to garden. Honestly, you could eat. You know, it would be harder to survive just on veg.
You're a foreigner too, Heidel.
Because there isn't the density of it. I think, of protein in it. So you need more of everything. But a lot of people would starve right now if they didn't have everything, all that stuff in the store.
Yeah, that's what I mean. If people in the like people just go, oh, you get a steak or you get a hamburger or you get a fillet of fish from the store. I go, no, someone had to catch that for you, so you could someone had to down the line, someone had to go on a fishing boat, for example, catch the fish, then they had to sell it to the place. The place had to buy it, and then
Yeah, there's a whole chain of I don't
I'm
know.
not trying to land a Panay anyways. So what's that matter, Idle? And
Some
then you're a woman that hates on me because
and I'm
I'm a
not sure
foreigner.
exactly what that is. I think with the women, it's that the Philippine men are a little bit more intense than us in the West.
Mhm.
So then I get along too because they act more womanly
Yeah.
than the women in the
And
West.
so you hate everybody who's not from your country, obviously, because you're calling all of us foreigners. You lumped other people into foreigners too.
Oh, I'm not a foreigner. I was born and raised here.
No, what I'm saying though is she's from a different country, so she's lumping everybody into what she says foreigners. So we're both lumped into it.
Oh, well, it's probably in Germany or somewhere.
Yeah, and then
So for that person, we probably are foreigners, but
yeah, but
whatever.
she's a foreigner to me too. But she's saying
It's like I had to
foreigners are scum.
French guys and bring them to the ship and other guys off the ship. And French, hate to say it, but they tend to have kind of an arrogance, you know. And I thought, what the heck? And I didn't hate on them directly, but later I'm telling somebody, it's because of us that they're even speaking French. They'd be speaking German if it wasn't for the United States,
Mm-hmm.
And anyway, but I didn't get so verbal with them, but a little bit because waiting for him to come down the gangway. One dude lights up a cigarette. I said, dude, get in if you want to ride. I'm not waiting for you to smoke that.
Yeah.
But I could only take 3 at a time, so it was 2. I took 2, and I came back him and the other whoever was still going to come down. But I think it's kind of an arrogance. Like, okay, no, you wait on me longer. I'm thinking, what are they being so arrogant about? There wouldn't be France if it wasn't for the United States. It would all be Germany and Europe.
Yeah.
So anyway, I get a little offended at times. I try not to all the time, but anyway, that's my struggle. People from another country go, yeah, and I'm like, what are you being arrogant with me for? I try not to be arrogant with everybody else.
Oh, I'm scared of you, Idle. Jeez, all these threats.
Foreign scum will be purged from my people. I don't know what NPA is. I really don't.
I don't care what your father was.
I don't know what 61 is either. Is that like?
I don't have any respect for people that troll people on YouTube. Sorry. I lost respect for you a long time ago, Heidel.
I think the best life, I think there's something to be said for that. If you eat meat, you should at least once witness and be part of the process. I did that at a permaculture camp for called Quail Springs in Southern California.
Mm-hmm.
It was a little rough to watch because I never saw anybody slaughter anything. The first time in my life, like 5-6 years ago. And I endured it. And I feel like you should at least witness it a little bit if you're, so I agree with you on that. Mm-hmm. At least once in your life, if everybody did, it would make them think a little bit when they eat. Like, hey, it's not just out of a package. And
Yep. Hi, anti-hapsters.
I have. Thanks for coming by. I thought that lady went to moderate your show. I can't remember what I saw. I found her on some other channel one night, and I can't remember what it was. So I asked her what channel you going to moderate, and she wouldn't say. But MB, I don't know what it was. MB, can't think of it. I have to scroll up to find it. But thanks for coming by, Hap. MB Heritage Farms.
Oh yeah. That guy was in here a little while ago.
So whichever one. That's a weird thing when there's 2 of them. I never know which one. I'm always figuring it's one or the other. But I guess that's because of how they come in, huh? If they said so and so from on their title.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to watch all your lives on Replay Hap. So it's gonna take a while, but I'm gonna try it. And I'm working on FDG still. Philippine Desert Gardener, doing her playing her all her videos.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I committed to Arkansas Woodcutter, and I'm still working on Armandoro Journey too, because I deleted my watch history partway through. Well, it doesn't have the red line under the ones I watched. So with OMJ, I have to go through and click it to see the thumbs up to know I played it. So because they have so many videos, hard to know. But so some of them like that, it's taking longer now than it was before. I was tired one night and I tiredly deleted my watch history. I don't know why, but I was one of them tired actions and made it difficult. But anyway, I'll be heading through yours, and at some point I'll probably start doing Brett's. But I notice you have super long videos, Brett.
Yeah, I do. Well,
it's kind of daunting, but after I get my setup, my place all set up where I could play it, and I'm not waking people up and stuff like that. I can play it late into the night, and I can't right here. So that's in time. I'll get a couple of weeks or something, start playing them or more, and just run them out. Then you have all that extra watch time at least. I mean, it's an easy support. I mean, in other times in life, when you had to support something, it was always usually like physical labor, right?
Yeah.
But that's what I could do easily to support people. So I do that at least. That's I can't put money towards everything I would like to support, unfortunately. But so the little ways I can, I try to connect, or I can buy an American made whatever, and some of the time, and I hunted
my whole life and raised my first meat chickens last summer. It was harder to kill the animals I raised versus the wild ones.
Yeah. I'm thinking once I get chickens, I'm going to trade them off to somebody else that can slaughter them and give me a percentage of either chicken back or something else in trade that I could use, and just deal with it that way. Because I don't want to do the whole thing, and pretty soon it's going to be like, oh, Jimmy the chicken and Billy the chicken, and so it'd be a little bit hard to deal with maybe. And I don't eat a ton of meats. For one thing, it kind of bogs down my system if I have too much at once. And so I've kind of I was going to go toward veganism, but I went to Hawaii last year, and then I was craving a beef burger. Got a Wagyu beef burger at a place called Village Grill or Village Burger. And I think it's like a franchise. I think they have it in different areas of the country, but it's very good. And I wished I'd ordered 2 more, So that's a funny thing. I was practically vegan on the way in. And then, but anyway, so I'm realizing it's just, you got to do what suits you, kind of. Sometimes I feel really healthy, more veg and fruits. So I do that. And other times I'm craving animal protein. To me, that means my body needs animal protein.
Yeah, you do. You need animal protein, because if you don't, then you got to get artificially made protein most of the time.
Yeah, so if you have to take handfuls of supplements, at some point, you might as well just eat some meat or an egg or whatever.
Yeah, or you need a few eggs or something.
I think it's good as a cleanse and a detox. Say go a week or 2, whatever, and then go again. Like there's a guy that talks about solid food vacation, mainly juices and things, and that's probably get rid of all kinds of junk you don't need in your system. Clean up a little bit, and then you go. Wow. Remind me that before I go to Hawaii, Hap. I try not to make you mad. That YouTuber. Know what happened to him? He's laying in the gutter outside.
Yeah.
I'm kidding, Hap. Don't worry. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I watched a lot of comedy when I was a kid,
Mhm.
good and bad. It affected me where I think of things in a humorous context a lot, and other people are looking at me like, "What the heck?" And I wish I had the ability to draw out everything that how I see it as a like a cartoon or some kind of a comedy sketch a lot of times, and I don't. Oh, thank you, Heidel.
And I know I'm not a loner champ because I choose to be on YouTube, by the way. It's what I choose to do. I choose to
For your
do it.
opinion. I mean, I don't totally agree with it, but thanks for expressing yourself. So that's the thing. And if you don't name beat, yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, you don't want to name the meat birds because
Oh, why are you so mad at me, Heidel? Aw,
Bill the
so
chicken
mad.
sure tastes good today.
I upset you, Heidel, because I'm a nice guy. Aw, Heidel.
That's kind of a European term, I think. Simp, right? I haven't heard
Yeah,
it
yeah.
very much around here, but it's
Yeah,
almost
and now you're calling me a bitch. Really cool, Heidel. Yeah, you're a cool lady, Heidel. After result in insults.
with the DOD.
Yeah, and it says, oh, Pacific people culture, it's the way of life.
Well, you know, don't.
And,
Here's the thing: you can express yourself, but you don't have to have insulting language.
yeah, and then now she's calling Hapsters an old whore.
Okay, so I don't want to delete your stuff, but if you start using insulting words,
Yeah, you don't want to get Hapsters mad. I tell you that.
I'm not going to have those ones on here. So, like this one is, I'm going to delete that. Okay,
Yeah.
because you know I'm going to put you in timeout. That's the thing. Oh, sorry.
Don't highlight that one.
I didn't mean to do that. Sorry.
Rip. Rest in peace. What that means.
Timeout. I'll put you in timeout until you cool down there, Heidel. And
Calm down.
I don't like to do that, but you forced my hand. You can't be calling people foul names here. You know, you can express yourself without doing that. I've been level-headed and not said a lot of inflammatory things that I'm capable of. So I would expect the same back.
Yeah. And it's his live. Don't come in.
Other than that, if you say, "Oh, so and so," you know what? You to a degree, you're free to express yourself, okay? But just don't be calling people these foul names.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's good. That's probably a good thing, Hap. You know, in a way, I wish I would have learned that and learned to slaughter these things as a young person, because you know I wouldn't have as much discomfort at doing it now, right? So I know the vegans, oh no, you shouldn't be comfortable with that, but we're eating it. I'm comfortable with eating it. Honestly, I kind of feel guilty thinking about it, that I'm not comfortable with killing it, but I am comfortable with just eating it.
Yeah, here's one thing I'll tell you about people.
I have a little carnivore guilt going on there.
Well, here's one thing: they're comfortable with going to the store and buying it, but then they go, "Well, I'm not comfortable seeing how it's killed." Well, someone had to do that for you, so you should be at least grateful, or like, you know what I mean, that someone did that for you, because you're lucky you get to go to a store and just buy it right off the shelf without doing all the other stuff. You know, like processing it and killing it, and you know, like making it into like steaks or grinding it up for hamburger.
Exactly. You should at least witness it every so often.
Once.
Like somebody
at least once.
Life said, even if you're not doing it yourself, even witnessing it at least puts you in that perspective of what's going on. No, Hap, I'll play the lives. It just takes a while.
Yeah.
I played all of Jay's Journey.
Oh yeah, did you all? I don't know how many.
He has mainly lives. I played all because it took, I don't know, a month and a half, 2 months or something, but
it would probably take like 3 months to play all of mine because I have like 100, well, no, maybe not that one, maybe like a month and a half to have like over 100 and something lives. I have to go back and look.
Well, let me say this, Brett. I turned 55 in July, so to give you some perspective, probably sometime around age 75, I'll have all yours played.
Yeah, probably. You'll be like, if YouTube's still around then.
Yeah, might be a totally different thing. But, we did that years ago. We got tired of it. Nobody wants that anymore. Like, what? I just got comfortable with it. My channel was just getting big. I just got monetized last week.
Yeah.
But no, I will. It's just going to be the right timing and everything for me to do it. And that's why I don't do my live streams way late, is because I'm doing it here in a household where it impacts everybody else, especially during the week. Yeah. Once I start doing them at the house, it's just me there, as far as I know. So be there most of the time. I got to put in some carpet because I've got a hardwood floor and I've got a paneled wall, and the feedback off all that wood is tremendous.
Oh yeah.
So I got to dampen the sound of the floor.
Yeah, it looks like a foam pad and some carpet.
Basically, I'm gonna get I got to pick out a nice probably like a wool carpet, and pick out maybe a nice pad to have, and then have them install it. And I don't want to take out the carpet because someday maybe I want to pull out the carpet and then have hardwood and just fix a hardwood again, right? So it's like my curved driveway. I don't necessarily want all that cement, but there's a lot of energy went into making the cement, into pouring the concrete and all that, and money, that if I tear it out and next year I decide, oh, why did I do that? Well, then it's, I don't want to have to redo. So I'm cautious about taking things out that I might want to put back. Yeah, right. So that's
and it says it was something I needed to learn and witness. I grew up with 9 brothers and 4 sisters. I am the youngest. I had to be one of the boys. Ha ha ha.
Oh, that's why we get along, because I'm the youngest in my clan too. We only had 6 though.
So only 6. It's like,
yeah, that sounds that's quite the paradox. Huh? Only 6, and people are doing their family are going, what?
Yeah, the half-year is like, man, that's hardly any, because she had 9 brothers and 4 sisters.
Yeah,
there was 15 in her clan.
Man, well, 6 show up. The parents are going, man, how come there's so much food left over?
Yeah,
right. I'm not the parents. I know I came from big families. Like I say, my parents had to work hard to get it all together.
And then here's one. It's kind of a little bit off topic, but remember when we were talking about cars? I was in the chat when and Joe and Jeannie's Journey was on the panel. We were talking about old cars, and then Bud Presley a little bit, right?
Vaguely, just from your channel, I've seen him a couple times and kidded a couple times, and I'm not sure how he took it, but I was like,
"It's dope right here." I'll read the message as I mentioned to you, a gentleman friend.
Excuse me, a second, Brett. Hi, Down Under Farm and Forge. Thanks for coming by the live stream. Welcome. Come by my channel anytime. I have a link up above if anybody wants to get on the panel. And everybody's welcome. I'm hoping that the haters don't get up here, but I just take them back off if they get hating too much on there. But anyhow, Hap, if you want to come up on the panel, I'll put the invite link again. But everybody's welcome, as long as you don't, use them nasty words at people here. You're okay.
And then here's one. I'll tell you what, because we're talking about old cars, and I said I mentioned, this is Bud Presley. He sent me a message on Wednesday. I mentioned to you that a gentleman friend of the family was diagnosed with cancer, and he wanted to leave my brother with a 55 Chevy. I just looked at the pictures, and she is very beautiful. She calls the car She. She's a little tender loving care, and I'll show you the.
Like we had a ship coming in. I was going to say she's coming down the channel. It's just old school way.
Yeah, there's one picture of it.
Getting that one?
No, his brother got it given to him because the guy told his one of Bud's brothers that I'm going to give you this before I die, or like when I'm about to die. But the guy has cancer, but he's not dying yet. So he goes, I'm going to give it to you early. And then there's another picture.
He gets it basically, right?
Right there. There's the old man right there. He's probably like in his 70s.
Is it all fixed up, or it's original and needs a lot of work?
I think it's mostly original.
Neat though, really neat.
Yeah, and it's
I
a
want to
55
get
Chevy.
some kind of an old car. I probably talked to you about that before.
Yeah.
Like from the either 40s or 50s or something, and fix up.
Mhm.
And just for once in a while, take it out, have this unique thing that, like, that's my car. You know, everybody wants to stand out a little bit, right? Not just be the guy, oh, that damn old hippie, you know.
Well,
hey, look at
it would look better.
You know,
Well, this car would look better if it wasn't all like it was in a garage where it got all like an outdoor garage. It wasn't very well protected, so it got a lot of like dust and like all crap all over it. But if you cleaned it up, it looked way nicer. But it's all original and it runs and drives well, I guess, supposedly. It may not look pristine, but it runs and drives good. That's all you really need.
trust me, it can be made to look pristine.
Yeah, it could, but yeah, it costs a lot of money.
If a person wants.
It
Well,
might be.
you know, over time though, I used to read like Hot Rodder and some of these like Street Rodder magazine, and some of these guys, I mean, I'm talking, God, this is a long time ago, but they would say the one guy had this old truck he was fixing up, and he said, well, I was fixing up this and that. Well, meanwhile, he had to get another car because it was probably cost prohibitive, but he kept working at it. 4 or 5 years later, he had this old truck all fixed up nice.
Yeah.
You know, so just a steady process. I had an old car I got rid of too because I didn't have the money at the time. Now I think, oh, that would have been a nice car, right? Mm-hmm. But hindsight.
You know, one thing about it too is a lot of people, what was I going to even say? Can't even think now. I was just going to say something. I lost my train of thought, but you know, like a lot of those old cars.
So you're one of 14. Excuse me. You're one of 14, Hap. I'm still kind of adding it up in my brain. My brain is going. Wow. Sorry, Brett. But I know you're trying to think of a word or something. But
hi, Joe and Jenny's journey there. Yeah,
I mean, I'm blown away. Your parents must have been some of the hardest working people around. I mean, woo.
Well, maybe not because they had a lot of time to make 14 kids.
Well, yeah. they use their time wisely. I can see that.
Yeah.
You know, some people say they probably didn't have any other hobbies. You know, that's okay.
Yeah.
Hobbies. Just to fill time that you're not using for something good.
Yeah, and then
right.
Kind of back on the car topic.
Let's say about the natives of the Californias.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, they caught what ran by mainly. They harvest the acorn season once a year for so many weeks, long days. That was like 24% of their diet. Okay, the rest of the time they caught what ran by to eat and made more natives.
Mm-hmm.
What's better than that? What else do you need? I mean,
so they're wrong.
Anyway, hi Joe. Thanks for coming by. Thanks for coming up on the panel. Anybody else want to come on the panel? You can. How you doing, Joe?
Doing good there, brother.
I haven't caught up with your shows yet because I'm still watching other people thing. I was weird shifts and I was burned out from last week. I'm still trying to catch up. So I think I did two. I did one full graveyard and one that was like a semi graveyard. And my energy level just shot. So
right. Hello there, Hapsters.
I'm still trying to make it to Hawaii, Hap, but I'm thinking it might be because there's an amount of hours I want to get in this built up at work that it might be early, like January or something. Mm-hmm. I probably won't come by and bug you guys. You got your own thing going, but maybe you can give me some tips on cool places to go on Oahu and stuff like that before I come over that way. But, you know, you got your life going on. I don't want to intervene on, you know, you got everything else going on too. So, but I appreciate if you have any cool tips on place I can go. Because when I go, like I was telling Joe the other night, I'm going to bring like 10 or 15 or something of these SD cards, and I'm going to fill them up and just make a ton of videos and have fun making videos. And, you know, because I always go by myself. So I got to give me something than just twiddling my thumbs. You know, I don't want to dislocate a thumb on vacation and that type of thing. And there's some place, of course, I don't go because I'm by myself, just out of a cautious sense. But so that's kind of a preventive when I go places. But anyway, yeah. So, maybe I'll ask you for some tips around that time. Maybe you can give me, I know like Haleiwa and things like that, but someplace I can make maybe some good video and like that. Go ahead, Joe. I didn't want to overtalk everybody. I think I just did everything. Sawing heavy timber after listening to me for a minute.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
14 kids. Yeah, my maternal grandmother had 11.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good amount too.
Irish. So back in the day, Catholics didn't believe in birth control, right? Because it was against the Catholic way.
Oh.
Until this Vatican II council thing, then they approved it apparently. But until then, it was
they didn't.
Forbidden.
Mm-hmm.
No, they haven't.
They didn't approve it. They just kind of looked the other way, or something happened that changed, right?
They kind of look the other way, but most Catholics nowadays, they still practice the traditional way.
Yeah, raise more kids.
Yeah.
And you know what? I noticed that with the Philippine people have a lot, and that's probably why, huh? Isn't a lot of Catholic in the Philippines?
Yeah.
So that's another similarity. Anyway, but yeah, so wow, that 11 I thought was a lot, but one of those grandparents came from a family of like 14 also. Maybe both of them. I don't really know the whole story, but man, that's a lot of that is a lot of people.
Yeah, Hatchers is telling you to bring 128 gig cards.
Because he said it's expensive to buy anything in Hawaii out there. So.
Oh yeah, I'll bring them for sure. 128 gig. Because I'm gonna look into like buying 10 or 15 at a time just to so I have them and I'm gonna number them and then fill them up. 28 gig.
Oh, you could find out how many hours of video that would take too on 128 gig by just Googling it.
That's a good idea.
Find out because it'd be. I could probably actually do it. I can do it for you. I always do that because when someone starts talking about something they want to find out, I just Google it for them when I'm on panel.
I got like 3 of these little cameras. So that way I'm going to keep them charged up. So one goes dead, boop, use the other one because I've done that before. I'm going and I'm videoing something. I only have the one goes dead on me. Sometimes I have another one with me and then I just flip the card into the other camera.
Just make sure when you go to the Philippines that you have a converter.
Yeah.
I don't know when I'll go to the Philippines. Probably a couple of years before I try the Philippines, but Hawaii first, and then Philippines sounds interesting. But with all this Corona and stuff, it's just that many more layers of complication. Like, oh, gee,
right?
Yeah, it is. Everything has to get shipped into Hawaii. Well, doesn't necessarily. It does anyway. Whether or not it has to be, that's debatable, right? But
here we go. We're recording at 28 megabits per second. 128 gigabyte memory card will hold 640 minutes of video.
Wow, that's a lot.
Time, yeah. Of 1080 video, how much hours? It'll do. If you do 2.7K at 24 to 30 frames a second, it'll hold 3.10 hours.
See, yeah, wow. I'll be the last time I don't think I had 10 hours total out all the videos I made, like 12 videos in my Hawaii series. And but I thought, next time I go, I might as well just max out and everything I think of, make a video.
No, 620 it'll hold. Yeah, 128 will hold 620, not 3. I was looking at the other one. The other one, 64, will hold 3 hours and 10 minutes. You do 2.7K. Because like 1080 is up to 2.
That's still a lot. That's still 10 hours.
Yeah, 2.7K is like 144. 144. I don't know. 1440. I don't know, something like that. It's like the next resolution up from 1080 is 2.7K, which is like not 4K. It's 1440p is what it is.
Oh, okay.
So
I'm thinking when I go to Oahu, because there's so much complications extra about going to the Big Island now that I want to minimize it until I'm familiar with it or something changes with all this Corona thing. So I'll probably just go Wahoo. And I was looking at a place called the Breakers last year. That if I said next time I go to Wahoo,
Yeah.
it's like a little apartment. So you just go get the food. I can prep a bunch of food. Like I was talking to a guy that worked on my house. He said when he travels, he goes and buys a cooler. And then he, when he wants to bring food or whatever, he throws it in that and brings it with him or goes to the store wherever and then drags it back to where he's at to cook it or what have you. He's talking fish and stuff too, which I don't really eat fish too much. But in the main, it makes a lot of sense. So I'm going to go there. Hey, where's a Target or whatever? Buy an ISO cooler on my way out. Hey, free, to whoever. And that type of thing. And that'll just be a travel expense, but it'll make it easier on me to have something like that. Because then I know, this food I'm not going to get sick from and all that. So I'm going to do some things like that. Make my time work for me better. A lot of times I go there and I haven't rented a car because then I go, it costs so much to park it there and all this. But to maximize my time and get a lot of video out, it's probably best to just rent a car and just say heck with it. It's part of the cost. And maybe I can have more fun than just trying, maybe I'll rent. Because the last time I didn't rent a car and I was going to take the bus to Haleiwa and I didn't feel like getting up early enough to really do it. And thinking, I'll be on the bus like 3 hours straight. And it was a grinding thought, right? And it's like, heck with it. I went to Down to Earth Grocery and went to the hot counter again a couple times. And that was pretty much all I did. I walked over there from Waikiki to Down to Earth in the other part of Honolulu on, I think it's Date Street, and got food like every day for a few days. Yeah, I'm not big on seafood though. That's the thing.
You're not?
Yeah.
I love seafood.
Fish, I have some other things to accomplish. So then I got my TWIC card in the tank where they're going to send it pretty soon. And that was one thing. But the other thing, I want to get my media room dialed in and stuff. And there's some other things I can't even think of right now that they're in the back of my brain also. And yeah, that's the thing. But I value that you can just boom the bus. Yeah. Oh, well, more seafood for somebody else. Let the ocean replenish a little bit, But that's okay. I never have been big on seafood. And at times in my life, I've had partners that try to push it at me. And just at some point, I'm just like, get away from me, because especially they say, be careful with this one because you don't want to eat a bone. So then for 3 days, I'm thinking, I hope I didn't swallow a bone. It's stuck in my gut somewhere and I'm going to die. So I don't need things that I have to worry about like that, in addition to not having much taste for it. So that's the thing. Chicken, you find the bones. You don't have them little bone you have to, did I eat it? No.
No. But there's a way if you get fish, there's a way to, if you keep when you catch a fish and you gut it and then you just chop the head off and leave the tail on and all that. There's a way when you cook it, you fold the tail down a little bit and then you grab right in front of the tail and you pull slowly and all 95% of the bones come right out.
Oh, interesting.
Because I learned that from my best friend's dad, because he's been fishing all of his life and he goes trout fishing on the river they live on. You
know what I do is I cut the head off and I take that and I fillet it out and then I throw it outside of the cat and go get some chicken. I'm kidding, but I actually gave up my fishing poles and stuff years ago because I thought if I catch it, I don't want to eat it. I never have been much on fish.
Bingo box, yeah.
And I think that's because I didn't have to eat it as a kid. Me and my sister became picky because we had more options. I think the older siblings liked those things more because, including beans and stuff like that, because they had to eat them. That's what was there. Yeah, and there's a place called what is it? It's by the mall. Little Japanese store. It's like a small chain. I can't think of it, but I bumped into it last time. I think it was by P.E. Koi Street or something like that. And I can't think of the name, but anyway, I knew what it was right off when I saw the title because I was walking by. I walked out the wrong exit out of the mall, and I found that's what I like about when they didn't have maps on phones and everything.
Oh.
I'd find more cool things by accident.
Yeah.
Hello, Maureen.
Hi, it's Maureen Michelle. Yeah, she's here.
Hi, MMK.
Shared
Thanks
you
for coming
out.
by the live.
Yeah, probably because I shared you out. I mean, that's why they're coming over.
Oh, thanks, Brett. I wondered
You're
why
welcome.
all these people that never came here before here.
Yeah, but they don't know you though, because they've seen you in my chat before. They've seen you at the Hapsters.
Okay.
I know Maureen Michelle and of course the Hapsters knows you, and Joe knows you, of course. But Maureen Michelle must have seen you at like mine or the Hapsters or someone else.
That must be why my last live, I've had so many views. I think it's my most viewed video. I was like, I get really popular, or the people I know are sharing it, or
yeah, a lot of people are sharing it.
People watching it 30 times or something, or 10 times. I didn't know, but I'm like, whatever it is, I'm still good with it. But I was curious the details behind it. I really didn't know.
And I shared your stream out on Panoia Hoy's. What do they call that? Well, it's like a stream build. It's like a connect to people stream. It's not really a fishing stream. It's like a connect to people stream. But I shared your
like a building thing
on his channel. I said you were live. I think I said or something like that because it's right when you went live. I shared it out.
Oh, you know what I was thinking today too. Hap, have you ever heard of In the Ohia Trees? She's on the Big Island. Sometimes I've shared her link. She's kind of a cool. She's this girl that has all these tattoos and stuff, but she has a really good vibe. She has, you know what I like too? She's got really long hair. It's like down to her ankles. I'm impressed by that, if nothing else. But it's anyway. Sometimes I share her link. I don't really know her, but I've watched her thing a few times. I kind of like her vibe. Something about her local Hawaiian local vibe. You know, I just so in the let me see. I think in the middle of Ohia Trees, it's called. Let me write it.
She must be a Hawaiian person.
A lot of times I run when I come in, I'll share you out in my community, and I forgot to do that today.
Hang it. I knew there was a problem. It's okay, Joe. I mean, hey, anytime you want to, I appreciate it. But if you don't, well, that's the way it goes. We're all got other things going too.
Yeah.
You know, to remember everything is impossible.
I just jumped over here from Bene's Habit.
Hey, how is Jay doing? I don't notice if he's doing much lately, huh?
He's, from what he was saying on his last video, he's working on a lot of videos. He's still trying to get his road trip up.
Okay. See, I haven't caught his last few videos. I have to catch those. I get in the middle of catching all of somebody's videos, and then I miss some of the other ones, right?
Right. That's usually how it goes.
And then I'm play catch up, and then I'm up to the level. You know, it's all this craziness. But yeah, check her out. You guys may or may not like it, but take a look. I think she's got some neat stuff. She probably don't know who the heck I am, but that's how it is sometimes. It's like when you're the one, everybody knows you kind of, but you don't know them. Thanks, MMK. I mean, that's easiest I can say it. Maureen, Michelle, and Ken. So I just call you MMK.
Yeah.
And,
I usually write out the first part. Maureen Michelle, I know that's the way I do it.
I know you got to connect locally, Hap. I'm trying to connect more like on the West Coast and I don't know Hawaii around the Pacific, right? It makes sense too. But
she knows a few from like the West Coast of America. She knows like Panay. Well, she used to be on there. She knows Bruce Davis. She knows
how to Hawaiian.
How to Hawaiian, Lady Reed. She knows Mama Sundee. She knows me, of course. Who else does she know from the West Coast? I think that may be it.
Knows our host for sure.
Yeah, our host.
Somehow. Yeah. Somehow I connected into the Filipino wireless. I don't know how that happened, but
no, she doesn't know our host. She just came here because of me.
In fact, like Brett, you know, Learn to Grow. Of course,
Yeah.
I don't know as many gardening channels, but she's Philippine descent lady in Washington. You're in Washington.
Oh, okay. The one Lady Reed USA is in Vancouver, Washington, which is like
Okay. This
2.5
one
hours south of me. I'm gonna meet her.
Olympia
I'm gonna meet her next month.
in there.
Her, Bruce Davis, and Darren's travels.
It's funny, but I didn't plan it that way. But I'm all these Filipinas. I watch your channel, and some of them are gardeners, and some there's more Asian women garden than anything apparently.
Yeah, they do. Asian women love to garden.
Or that's who casts the right vibe, I guess. I don't know, but
Yeah, that is the way it happens there, Hapsers.
yeah, it's just organic, like you say, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I don't know how I even came across Hap. It was probably through, you probably had some Hawaii video, and I'm like, well, if it's Hawaii, how bad could it be, right? And
yeah, she does have Hawaii video
on that basis a lot of times, and I'm like, wow, cool. And
every week she does like a walk outside on the Hawaii beach, or like one of her streams, I think it was yesterday morning or the day before, she was doing one where she had her camera pointed out the Arizona Memorial, and she was like outside, like sitting there, and she was talking in the chat. You can see the Arizona Memorial in the back with the water moving.
Neat. You know,
Yeah.
you can take the local bus, will drop you off there too. So you don't have to pay all that heavy money to take the expensive shuttle to the memorial. Just take the bus, thebus.org. Anyway, I just saved everybody a bunch of money if you go there. And because I was on the bus going someplace one time years ago, and somebody wanted off. Oh, they're asking the driver, and then, oh yeah, you get off at this stop. And I have never been for, I don't know. I had different thoughts at times going there and wasn't sure, but I haven't been to it. But yeah, I haven't watched that stream either yet, Hap. I'll have to catch that one. Grew up with African American white folks. You said, oh, okay. We're a little bit intense sometimes, huh?
Yeah.
We kind of have a bleached out culture, just like our skin.
Mm-hmm.
Somehow, you know.
Yeah, if I go to Hawaii, I'm taking my tent with me. Finding campgrounds.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? Another thing you might look into. I don't know if you want to or not, Joe, but woof. You can help on an organic farm, 20 hours in a week, and anyway, they'll supply some food. You help them. They tell you about the area, whatever. They have that in Hawaii. I did that before. It just
I might think that might be another option.
So it depends. I mean, if you're going to stay longer term, it's probably worth it. But if you're only there like a week, well,
or 2 weeks, yeah.
You don't want to spend it just working on somebody's farm necessarily, right? So
no.
Anyway, just throw that's an option to do.
I was going to go to Hawaii. No offense to Hapsters. I'd pass her right up and go to Maui. And I know someone who has a timeshare in Maui.
There you go. You got an option there. See?
Yeah.
I don't know anybody that well that lives there, so I just got to have a place.
But I'll go visit Hapsters if I ever flew to Hawaii. If I ever flew to Oahu, though, where she lives.
Well, most of them go through Oahu, so
yeah. No, Oahu's the main island that people usually go to because they go to Waikiki Beach, the first beach they go to. But funny thing is, you know, some about Waikiki Beach, it wasn't even a real beach. They at one time they like truckloads of sand in there and built the beach. There was actually no sand there at one time.
Well, you know that's because I haven't got there yet. So once I get there, there's all these millions of people are going to show up. It's my joke of the day. Okay. Mm-hmm. That's why I've got a whole 294 subscribers because I'm so vastly popular.
That's what I said on Noise. He's only got 294 subscribers. Here's his link. When I shared it out.
I just appreciate all the support. And 294 is vastly from where I was a year ago. I wasn't engaging in lives and stuff back then. I just had a different take on things.
That's how you grow, is engaging in lives and seeing other people in there, and then they find out and they go to your channel.
And you know what? I like it a lot better now, doing the lives and just uploading a video and don't know anybody and don't intersect with anybody, and it's better. And that's why I started doing the StreamYard, so I can get people on the panel. So it's not just me talking and people typing. So it's more engaging. It's like a cyber party.
Yeah.
Ah, interesting.
Yeah. USS Arizona Memorial. Yeah.
You get someone to send me a howitzer. That's the question of the day. Everybody thinks I'm kidding, but I actually want a World War II howitzer for the front yard. And but I found one on a site that's in Europe, but I'm thinking it'll cost just as much to ship it to me from Europe.
Yeah, it probably cost you thousands of dollars probably to ship it.
I'm hoping there's a World War II vet in the Bay Area that his family don't know what to do with a cannon, and I can buy it. You know?
That would be cool.
Yeah, they'll go for like 10,000, but I figured it'd be 10,000 to ship it to me from Europe.
Well, the other cannons. Speaking of cannons, the other cannons that are awesome are the World War II one, or not the World War II. I think it was the Civil War one. They were on the big wheels.
You can buy them, you know. There's places you can buy them.
Yeah, you had to crank
I mean,
the
you don't have
handle.
a house, so you specifically right now it probably wouldn't be the out. I'm gonna put this cannon in my apartment, right? But but for me, I got a big old driveway, and you know, I saw them ones in Waikiki, in Honolulu. I guess not Waikiki. I'm not sure at the base. And I was like, I'd like to get a cannon for in front of the house. And
What would it be, a oscillating one?
I'm all about, you know, growing and we don't have to have war and all this, and then I want a cannon. So we've all got these paradoxes, right?
I could just see your neighbors when you pull that cannon up to the front of the house.
I told the guy at work, I only want to get, you know, I don't want to get that many shells, just 3 or 4 for it. I mean,
Yeah.
Actually, just did let.
I said, well, you know, and but you know what? Somebody told me I should make a model. I could have a mock-up made probably, but I would have to go and measure that one maybe at the Fort de Russie and whatever, and get some, you know, some measurements down if they let me and everything, and make an imitation one. It might be an option too. Just paint it OD green and put a big star on it and all this. If it's got the markings, most people aren't even gonna know. But it'd be cool.
Well, actually, to have a cannon, you got to have firearms permit.
Yeah, I would qualify. I've never been arrested. I'm pretty sure I qualify.
Actually, no, it's not a
FFL.
It's not the permit. It's a full license.
Right. I mean, I don't know for sure, but I'm confident that I would qualify because I don't have a heinous background. And maybe there's something there. Oh, wait a minute. You know, but as far as I know, because I qualified to get on the ports and everything, having a TWIC card. So I'm thinking that never having been arrested, that I'd be a good qualifier for that license. Now, I don't know what it costs and all that, and how much it costs to renew. But I thought, well, if I had to if it's for a cannon for the right price, and I can qualify and get the license, maybe I'll do that. Just so I could say, look, I got this cool cannon out here. And then once in a while, I could bring it to some special area and fire it. And wouldn't that be cool? Baloosh! Look at that, you know?
Well, if you do that, make sure you got a cap on it. This way, none of the kids are shoving anything down in the barrel.
Yeah, good idea. Have something over the cover, huh? But yeah, I don't know. These are ideas I'm toying with, kind of, but I haven't encountered the cannon yet that is for the right price for me, right? It's local. So I thought if I find one in the Bay Area, I'll tow it home and go from there, but I don't know. I keep saying that, thinking, you know, because they say everything you want is like a couple connections away. So I keep saying it out there that eventually the connection will be made. I'll probably be 95 years old. I finally found it. You know, my mustache will be down to my waist by then. Anyway, that's I was telling the kids here. I said, hey, I'm gonna want to grow my beard down to like my ankle or something. And I shaved it. You said you want it. I said, well, I do want to. It was awkward, so I got rid of it for now. But
I want a cannon now.
Am I? I'm inspiring everybody now. I want a cannon. I want a cannon.
You can buy those cool. They look like a World War II cannon kind, or no, I mean a Civil War cannon kind, but they shoot bowling balls out of them.
Cool.
You can use them.
You can buy actual Civil War cannons too. You don't need the same licenses and things for the really old stuff.
Oh.
And for like guns, I know this because I was looking on websites. There's one, International Military Antiques, and the stuff that is before a certain age, a certain amount of old, you don't need the same licenses for it.
Oh.
Because you're talking like you're shoving a ball down the chamber with a rod and
and tamping it,
yeah, stuff like that in the rifle. You know, it's not as deadly. How many? You know, you're not going to go out there and shooting all crazy, right?
No,
you can do all that.
You do somebody and then you miss, and then you got to reload it for like 4 or 5 minutes again.
I guess that's where the term "the quick and the dead" came from, huh?
You don't see people doing drive-bys in Chicago using muskets. That would be funny.
That would make a good comedy skit. You know, guys on like a horse or something doing a drive-by.
Yeah, or ride-by on horseback with muskets with bayonets on the end. Just in case they miss, they can stab them because they're going to be like 15 yards away or 20 yards away.
That's hilarious. You come up in a little wagon, you're looking like all Amish.
Yeah.
Oh, give me the other one. I don't have time to reload.
But funny thing is I got a joke on kind of that thing. How do you stop a Polish army on horseback?
Don't know. Very carefully.
Yeah. Turn off the carousel.
Bad. The bad ones are usually the funniest, though.
Yeah, they are.
Fortunately or unfortunately. The best life says, I want a cannon now. I'm inspiring things everywhere. Not always the best things, but that's hilarious.
Yeah, if I ever come across one, whenever that is, I'll just put it right in the middle of my garden.
I was going to put this thing right in the middle of my, I have a curved driveway, and I want it where you can't, I'm turning this so other people that are in the house don't have to be in the view. But I was going to put it so that I want to make the driveway so you can't drive through it. Because when I'm not there and my vehicles aren't there, people do turn around. I could tell by the way the delivery drivers look like, dang, there's something there again. I got to do the 3 or 5 point turn now. And and the neighbor says, oh, nobody turns. Yeah, he just doesn't notice. It's not his driveway. Right. So I know they don't turn around now because I got a couple of vehicles lodged up in there, but I'm going to leave it where like in the middle, I'll probably end up putting some half barrels with some plants in them. And then whoever drives into that going to have to drive clear over it to go through. So they're not going to do that. They're not going to ruin their car over my plants. So that's the thing. Plus, I'll utilize the heat to grow the plants, the reflective heat off the pavement. So that's the thing. I'm looking at the cord for this mouse. Everything is wired here, So I don't do the other stuff because it takes too much of everything. Pretty soon I'll be trying to use the mouse and the battery will be out or some crazy thing, right? So I'm suspicious of all these things that take extra work, like the watch, it takes a battery. No thanks. I've had this one self-wind 9 years.
Have a good dinner there, Hapsters.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Bye, Hapster. Oh, she says to be right back.
Oh, okay. Hey, yeah, have a good meal, Hap. Email some of that. My bad cyber joke of the century.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there is. There's a lot of history in Oahu. Just getting back to your comment there, because I was talking and not reading. There's I was at Fort DeRussy. If anybody hasn't been there, you go to Oahu. It's right down there by Beach Walk Drive. There's a free museum. It's interesting. I could have spent, if I was really a history buff, Not so much, but it was interesting. I
Yeah.
could have spent probably 2 days, 4 or 5 hours probably reading
My one of my uncles is actually
it out.
he went to Naval Academy, but he got a PhD in military history, so he would be there. He would be in heaven, like literally.
And originally years ago, I went in there because it was hot outside and I was at the beach. And I'm like, well, I bet it's cool in there, right? And it is. But it is too. It's cooler in there. And then you check out these neat old things and you learn a little bit. Next time, go again. You remember part of that and add on one little piece of information again and, build from there. And it was neat.
Mm-hmm.
I have avoided the Arizona because years ago I remember thinking, oh, it's kind of a thing to be like caught up in all this misery, and I want to kind of be Hawaii and get away from like a lot of stress and stuff. But
Yeah.
I get it. I get it. Not to dishonor anybody. I didn't. It's not why I stayed away. It's just I was feeling at the time.
Well, I'd make a special trip to the Arizona and to the Missouri, because they're both docked right there beside each other.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
The beginning of the war, the end of the war, kind of thing.
Oh, I see.
Um,
Was the Missouri the last one or something?
the Missouri is where the Japanese surrendered on her death.
Oh, okay. So it's a floating vessel you can get on and check out.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's how
That's like,
I am. I'm like looking at the beach and stuff only when I'm on. Okay.
and you can pay money and go on it.
That's neat.
Yes.
There's a lot of history between Hawaii and here in the mainland.
Oh yeah.
A lot of people don't realize what kind of history there is.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I read somewhere, I don't have the reference point, but there was a book that had something to do with the reason they called Kanaka and Canadian Canuck. I think it was some island or something up there that they figured the Hawaiians went to or something. I can't remember all the details, but they had contact with an island off of Canada.
Mhm.
So there's a connection there.
Yeah.
Name, and I can't remember all the details, but I think it was Salt Point Island or Salt Spring Island or something. And there's some connection there. If I find the reference again, I'll tell everybody what it was. But years ago, I read that. Wow. So it's just things we never thought of. That goes way back,
I'm looking at the flood right now down in Honduras,
Oh,
down there in Central America.
Really? Was that just recent?
Yeah. They got another hurricane down there.
Wow, that's a shame.
Honduras hurricane, yeah. Right here, it's going right for Guatemala. It looks like, unless it turns rapidly. Guatemala and Honduras going right for it. It passed over part of, I think it's Puerto Rico. No, that's not Puerto Rico. Where is it?
South Florida, Keys.
Yeah, on the Gulf
We'll
Coast.
see impact early next week.
Yeah.
So looking at that, it does say something about Salt Spring Island and Kanaka.
Well, I'm not too big on the Canadian history.
That's the only part I thought of because I remember reading that, and I didn't know where that was until recently. Astor had something to do with the Pacific Fur Company and the fur trade, and Astoria, Oregon's named after him.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
And
my dad was stationed in Astoria in the Coast Guard for a while. Way back. What if you went here?
Hey, Ron, I'm gonna
Okay. Go ahead, Joe.
I'm going to get out of here, brother. My phone's down to 40%.
Oh yeah, don't let it run out. Thanks for coming by, Joe.
Yeah.
Appreciate all the support.
Yep.
Sometimes that can be kind of boring to talk to, but thanks anyway.
Yeah. Bye, Joe.
I don't always have this flourishing mind.
Yeah.
Brent,
Be safe down there, Hapsters.
for over an hour. You're like, oh gosh.
Yeah. Oh, good night.
Yeah, have a good night, Joe.
Yep.
Take care.
Oh, Ron, the last time I was up here for a good hour and a half with you.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
That's when I had a full charge on my phone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's fine. Do what you have to do. I mean, that's the way it is.
Y'all be safe out there on the West Coast.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We'll try to be. There's a lot of craziness going on, but you know what? At the end of the day, we're all Americans.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So that's the thing. We just got to look to that. And that's why I'm saying, hey, what can we do to make the world better? Whoever, if it's someone we don't like is in office or someone we do like is in office, what can we just keep walking forward and doing things to make things better, regardless who's in office?
Yeah. Because whoever gets in the presidency is not going to have any say anyways because of stupid House and Senate. But I don't want to get into too much politics, but that's just...
They have some sway, but then again, like Trump tried to do a bunch of things that the Democrat side didn't agree with and pushed back on and stopped him. So you only so much. It's all political still when they get
still it's all political. Like the voting is getting political.
So and so gets in, it's going to be horrible, and so and so gets in, it's going to be like the Messiah. No, you don't have that much. You just can move the needle a little bit here or there, and depending on your political wherewithal, what you can do.
Because you could,
president.
The thing about it too is like even the voting's got like becoming a joke. How they want to recount and blah blah blah, and it takes forever and all this crap. I'm like, it's all a mess.
And then somebody is telling me, oh, yeah, well, they found this thing. And you know what? In the end, it's all going to wash out. I don't want to get so caught up in every detail because I'll just get stressed. And you know what? It's going to all boil out to one of them's going to be president, okay?
Yeah.
It's not going to be some revolution over it. Give me a break.
No, there's not going to change so dramatically.
People are making it out to be, it's going to be another civil war. Give me a break. Come on.
Yeah. And the thing about it is too is like when one president gets in, he has to try to, if he wants to do stuff radically different, he has to undo all the stuff that's already happened from hundreds of years.
Yeah. So whatever he does, say for example, he's a president we love. Let's just say some round example of, hey, this is some president we love is in here. Okay. Whether or not you love Trump, just that's just our example. President we love is in office. And somebody else, and he does all these wonderful things. So the next guy wants to erase that. It might take him 6 years to do that.
Yeah, or more.
When's he going to do what he wants to do? He
cannot even do it.
Scratch the surface.
He cannot even do it in 2 terms to get rid of all of it.
Trump's been trying to erase Obamacare for how long? Most of the time. He hasn't quite accomplished it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things he wanted to do, whether or not I agree with him, with what he wanted to do. He wasn't able to because enough people didn't want him to that pushed back on it.
Yeah.
You can only move the needle so far one way or the other.
That's true.
And some can move a little bit farther than others, but no, it's what we as the people want is the main thing. So if we just do things in our local areas, we can improve things vastly.
Yeah, you got to
stick to the small things we can do.
I think you should
concentrate more on them than that big picture thing that we can't control as much of.
The thing you should worry about is like for example, like let's name an area in Seattle, Queen Anne. You could do something to like, even if it's like clean up the streets of Queen Anne, or like put signs out that say like, because like some places, like I'll give you an example, like Chicago, they have signs that would say, "Don't shoot our kids."
Wow,
because you know about Chicago. Chicago has the worst crime rate in out of any state or any any place in the world. Like they
Oh,
have multiple people die every. Sometimes it's like 8, 9 die every week.
they were one of the top ones in crime, and Oakland
Yeah, they are.
was up there for a long time, and they've reduced. But now that they've decided to cut the police force in half, the murder rate has went skyrocketed, and people are alarmed now. Like, wait a minute, what are we doing?
Yeah, because
so naive sometimes, it's like, come on, who do you think is controlling this and damping it down? It doesn't the people that want to shoot somebody else isn't tempered down on by it because of their own spirituality or whatever. It's because somebody's from above is kind of tamping that down.
And then here's one too. Like there's people that got voted. Well, I think they got voted back into office in like Seattle. They want to defund the police.
Yeah,
that's one thing I don't want to happen. Because defunding the police, the crime rate's gonna even go up even more.
Yeah, and then eventually it'll come all the way around to where you have to have some entity control that, and then you'll end up paying more for the same privilege that you get now for cheaper.
Because
I guarantee it always works like that. You end up paying more for the same thing if you get rid of it and have to start from scratch. And in the end, you'll end up with somebody has to control it, or it'll be the Wild West again. Who wants? I don't want to live in the Wild West. Sorry.
No, I don't want to live where it's the citizens that have to police the area. Fuck that.
Exactly. And what's happening in Oakland, the rich area, they pay for private security because they can afford it. So what ends up happening is the people that are working class and below can't afford it. So all the crime has gone crazy there.
Yeah, and then where the like you're talking like the like the businessmen that make a lot of money.
It ends up becoming that the rich are taken care of, and they support all this. Hey, defund the police and all. Of course, because they can afford their own.
Yeah, they can afford their own like security guard or like their own personal security to walk them around.
Yeah, and they're backing all these efforts.
Yeah,
they're backing on all these efforts to defund it because hey, they're taking care of. Let them other people fight amongst themselves, and they won't want a piece of what we got. Is probably part of it.
Yeah. And then please don't defund the police.
Yeah, I think
going out to cities in America, please don't defund the police because 99% of the police aren't bad.
Exactly, more than that, but it's a very small percentage. Reform those departments that are bad, punish the people that did wrong.
Yeah,
but you don't throw the baby out with the bathwater.
No,
come on,
and
the water's dirty, but you don't throw the baby
punish everybody because it's like a few bad apples.
Exactly. Throw the bad apples out before they rot the barrel. Yeah,
and if it's a police chief of some city or town that's screwing up, and you get him out of there, then if he's not teaching the police the right way to handle a crime, like when they're out on the streets.
Exactly. Just reform it.
Yeah, let's reform it. And people are like, "Oh, there's a radical go defund it. I hate the police."
It's just they don't have enough.
And here's one thing.
Crazy.
Like in Oregon, I think the riots have been going on constantly since it's happened. There's still people damaging stuff, still people breaking stuff, still people setting stuff on fire.
Honestly, when it gets that out of hand for that long, what's going to end up having to happen probably, like it or not, they're going to have some force go in there and crack heads and arrest people for every little thing until they beat it back into submission.
They should. I think they had the National Guard in there.
That's the only way you ever get it back in line.
Yeah, and then they need to bring the National Guard from that local state in there and crack some heads.
Exactly. That, I'm not saying that's my favorite option, but that's how it works.
Yeah, because it's going to have to. It's keeps happening.
Control.
Yeah, you can't get under control the way you're doing it.
Out, Sonny, then it doesn't work.
Yeah, you're gonna have to. If it's not working the way you're doing it, try another way to do it.
And when they're out harassing the city council and burning up their lawn and breaking their plants and all this, I forget if that was in Oregon or what. They're doing all this craziness. It's time to come in hard.
Yeah, they're damaging.
Those people, they are public servants, and that means that they're doing something to try to make things better for everybody. So don't go there and harass them.
Yeah, or
something like politically to say.
They're like damaging like government buildings and shit.
Voted out or whatever.
Yeah, they're damaging like government buildings that the taxpayers pay for.
But you don't go attack their house.
No,
you don't interfere with their
their
harm
daily lives.
their family or scare their family or that's not right.
No.
I think that's way out of bounds. And you know what? These protesters wouldn't like it if a bunch of people came to their house and started burning things up and tearing it up.
I know. If we went to their house and like set their lawn on fire, like went there and went in their driveway and set their car on fire, they wouldn't like it either.
What if that city council member was super rich and just said, "Hey, I'm sending a bunch of people to by your neighborhood and tear things up"? These people wouldn't like it.
Yeah, but no politician or like super rich person would actually do that probably.
No, exactly. But be civilized.
Be civilized.
Americans here. We're not some Cro-Magnon, whatever. Act civilized.
Yeah.
There's ways to accomplish more. What's the phrase? You get more flies with honey than you do with vinegar.
Yeah.
There's truth in all these old time sayings that nobody wants to use anymore.
Yeah, there is. Like I said, well, what one I said? I said that other one like a few minutes ago. I can't remember the phrase now.
Yeah, it's like, come on, don't hate, create. Do something. If you, whoever, like I was talking on one of my videos about this whole cancel culture thing, like, oh, John Muir, he wasn't perfect, and but don't knock him because he's still done a lot of good things. Don't say he's totally horrible. If it wasn't for him, we wouldn't have the national parks.
Yeah,
they were ready to give it all to whoever wanted to buy it. So basically, the rich would have the nice place, and everybody else wouldn't have nothing.
Yeah, all the nice places to go and hang out
like that. So I don't believe in all, cancel everything he did because he wasn't perfect. You know what? We're all flawed. Every human is flawed.
And then,
so if those that are such haters think they can do better, pick up a shovel and a trowel and grow a food forest in your neighborhood and do better.
Yeah, or like
help out your family and your neighbors. And let's see what you can do if you can improve things. Breaking things isn't improving anything.
No, it's actually making it worse because because when you like when the first time it happened here in Seattle, it was like it was back in May. They damaged like 100 businesses, and some of those businesses, I can tell you right now, were hurting after they happened because they went in there and looted and broke windows and stuff. And a lot of those, if it's a small business, they may not have the money to fix it right away.
Exactly, especially after
they're like, well, and it's the saddest part about it is a lot of those rioters were attacking small businesses where they were like probably privately owned by like two people or one person, and then that one person is probably out of a job now because he can't like repair his business. So then what's he do? He's probably sitting in his house going to have no money. This could be the case. He could be on like government assistance or getting unemployment.
So that's how he gets punished for having a local business and trying to probably a supporter of the community. In addition to just having a business locally, that usually those people are more supporting the community. That's how they get punished by all this.
Yeah.
And they don't deserve to be.
And then I know like small businesses that have been like damaged before. I'm like, well, why would someone just go in there and just break the window of a business? Just even for the rights, just break the window of a business for no reason.
It's terrible.
Yeah. Or like just go in there and
everybody else is buying something too, so the price has got to go up because whatever he made last year, he spent that in his budget already. It's not here no more.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's like me and you, hey, I got my property tax bill. Now I got to pay it out of whatever I got coming in or whatever I got saved. But, 10 years ago, whatever I made, that's probably gone.
Yeah.
You can't, he did good before. Hey, too bad.
Yeah.
I did good before. It doesn't mean I'm doing that great now. Hi, Chance. Thanks for coming by. Thanks for coming to my live stream.
Now, here's another scenario about it. I know a guy, I'm pretty good friends with him, that runs the hobby shop I go to. They sell like RC cars, RC boats. They sell a little bit of like rockets. They sell like some, they have a little model section. They sell like RC Hulk, RC drones.
I used to like the rockets when I was a teen. I
used to do them too when I was like
I was kind of fascinated by the little rocket.
Elementary school. And then the funny thing though is this guy, I know for a fact, has been vandalized a few times where people have gone in there and like stolen stuff out of his business, you know, and
Probably one of the biggest community supporters around, I bet.
yeah, he is. And then the thing about it too is like it hurts him a lot because you know he works day to day, you know, and he probably makes a decent amount of money. I mean, I wouldn't say he probably makes like 30,000-40,000 a year off the hobby shop, but that's doing a lot.
Businesses work off a slim margin. So every time you impact that by somebody taking something or breaking a window or messing anything up in it, it throws off his whole system of getting by. It might be enough that he can't get by anymore. Just as I'm working too hard for all this, and they break the window and throw my profit off enough that it's not worth it anymore.
Yeah, and I know people that have like, you know, people that have gone in there and they're like, oh well, they're just like, there's a lot of people in there and they're just hanging around, blah, 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 and they talk to me, oh, do you have this part or whatever? And then the guy will just put it in his pocket and then just like when people just look away for 1 second, he just walks out. If there's a lot of people in there, he can kind of blend in and he just slowly walks and just keeps looking and then he just walks out. And then someone steals like a $40, $50, $100 part to an RC car. And then he's out that money. And I've seen there was instances where someone from that same guy stole like RC cars out of there.
That's terrible.
Yeah, because there's like small enough ones where I think someone's even stole like one of those little micro drones you like fly in your house. It's like $60 or $80 or whatever it is, you know. And he's had stuff stolen, but now he has a security camera so he can look. But like people doing shady stuff, you know.
That's terrible.
The part you can just sneak it in your pocket and then just walk out. You put it right in your like pants pocket or your shorts pocket or your jacket pocket and walk right out.
Something else,
you know. And a lot of those places
side of the bigger picture, you know, how much that guy's helping the community and having a small business there.
And
probably want a job one day there, even though they stole from him already.
Yeah, and then like that place is where, you know, like it's helping out and trying to think how it's impact the community really, but it does in some way. Even a small business will impact the community a little bit because what it does is it not just the financial impact or whatever, it brings people together because here's one thing, it's a hobby shop, and I know like a lot of some families go in there and you get to meet people and it brings actually communities together and families together because it's something you can do with your son. You know, you may have like a 10 or 12-year-old son and your dad's been doing RC cars for a long time. And you go, I'm going to get my son to do it. I'm going to buy him a little RC car. And then it brings people together and you get to meet more people. Like I've met a lot of people through that hobby shop.
It's nice for someone to be able to build a career out of that and just, I ordered it and it was a little bit cheaper on such and such, but just that big corporation's making a ton of money. No little average Joe guy that wants to have a hobby shop can get by.
Yeah, and this thing is
to get by. Maybe it costs a little more here and there, but I bet overall he's just scratching out a living. And
but now here's like the hobby shop, like part of the thing. Since you have a local hobby shop, a lot of people go. I've had people in there when I've been in there at the store go, oh, I saw it on this website. They're selling it for cheaper. And then he goes, well, and then he'll kind of come back and go, well, you can go buy it there then if you want. But he's still trying to be mean to people. He goes, well, you won't, if you buy it off that website, you won't get the customer service and all the actual in-person experience that you get just ordering it. And what happens if you order off that website, something goes wrong with it, and then you don't know how to fix it, and you're gonna have to bring it back in here for one of our guys to look at it and fix it. And he goes, and why don't you just pay a little bit more? And then he'll go, and he does the thing too. If you buy something from there, he's usually pretty nice, and sometimes he'll go, well, we'll help you like set it up. If it's like an RC car or a health car, we'll help you set it up. If it needs teach you how to like bind the like the controller to the car. We'll teach you how to like the ins and outs of the car. We'll give you a run through if you're gonna buy it. Like some people are serious about buying it. They'll actually, the hobby shop will actually take like RC car to the box and show it to the guy, and then like tell him, you need this battery, how it runs, like what you need to do to get it like going, and how to charge the battery and everything. If you go to a hobby shop and buy them, they're like, well,
me buying one with a customer service like that, then something I have to figure out and I have never been exposed to. I might get stuck in some aspect of it and never get the thing figured out, and it sits there in the box forever until I get rid of it. So
yeah, especially if you're new to the, like I'm just saying in general, like you're new to any hobby or anything you do, and you go, well, I can buy it locally. You may want to spend maybe like 10-15% more on it because you're going to get an experience of they'll if you buy from that hobby shop, if they have good customer service and good employees, they'll teach you how to run it or like use it or whatever the product is. They'll teach you how to use it. They'll teach you the ins and outs of it, make sure you take care of it and stuff like that, and know what you're doing before you go out there and like break it.
And sometimes there's places even that you go, say it's a book, I know of a book place where people get better wages and benefits and stuff. I don't know the difference in the price of the books because I order from them. It's pals.com.
Oh.
Their union is probably the only union workers at a bookstore anywhere.
Probably.
I order them online, but people make
price books here.
It's up there your way in Washington, I think Oregon, and
there's a like around here.
Because I'd rather support more people than just Amazon.
Yeah.
You know? I try my best not. I go to Whole Foods sometime because it's convenience. They're open later and stuff, but I try my best not to support the giant that doesn't care about nobody and support the smaller scale.
But here's what funny is, Amazon's a big corporation, but I live in Washington and Amazon's a local company, so I'm actually supporting a local company as it boils down, goes back to it. Seriously, Amazon started.
I know what you're saying. But I try to support the smaller scale.
But I'll only buy stuff on Amazon usually that I can't find anywhere else.
Huh?
Yeah, I'm like, oh no. Hi, Cecilia Jansen. Thanks for coming.
I can't talk about Starbucks either, huh?
No. Starbucks is local in Washington too. Started in Seattle. The first locations that opened up in Seattle. By the Pike Place Market, down like little ways down from the Pike Place Market.
Yeah. I had heard that.
It's still there too. Started in like 76 or something like that.
Basically, I'm just getting down to the smaller, or the ones that,
mom and pop
takes better care of the people than some other places might.
Yeah, and I'll tell you right now, a lot of the little mom and pop shops will take care of you better than a big corporation. Even though the price may be a little bit more, if you can find the same product, like just tell you like a local restaurant, though, a lot of times they'll take care of you if you're a like customer because they interact with more local people than a big corporation does.
Yeah. See, and you know what? In time,
you have more one-on-one experience with the customer.
People are going to crave more of the good quality customer service that you don't get from just having something shipped cheap to you.
Yeah, there's another one too. Like I work at IKEA, and even though it's a big corporation or anything, but they teach us to have really good like customer service and stuff, and make sure they want to come back. And because our thing is, it's IKEA says a thing where they want repeat customers. They're like they want them to come back more than once.
Exactly, because it's all disposable junk. Sorry,
no, it's not all junk. Some of it's actually pretty good.
I know some of it's okay, but it's in a sense their business model is like this stuff's going to break. With the average American user, put it that way, it's going to break and
because
buy another.
I mean, you could have something
I know people that are very cautious with their stuff, unlike me, that have IKEA stuff that's really, really old. I can't handle delicate things. I might as well have a house made of glass because I'll have so much of it I have to replace. But no, I know what you're saying. I had to work at IKEA for a while.
What it is too is it's not always all the product that's shitty fault. It's like most Americans are too rough with stuff.
That's true. That's exactly true.
Because they abuse it, they like spill stuff on it. They like just rough with it. And the thing is too is like, well, we had a thing a couple of years ago. I think it was like 2, maybe 3 years ago. We had a problem with this product. It was a dresser, and people were saying there was a child that died because of the dresser. But I go, well, it wasn't the dresser, because you find out what happened to the kid. The kid was opening the drawers and climbing on the dresser, and the dresser fell over on top of him. I go, if the kid wasn't climbing, I know it was sad that the kid died and everything, but the kid was like pulling out the drawers and climbing on it.
Right, doing something you're not supposed to do with it.
Yeah, and then our demonstration was kind of lame too. They had the same dress. I can't remember what the model, what the name of it was, or the model number, but it was a dresser that was not a good design from the start because it wasn't very deep, and it was probably about 3 foot, 3.5 foot tall. So it's like a tall dresser. But the thing though is they're demonstrating that it'll pull out all the drawers all the way, and then like bump it fairly hard, and then it'll fall over. And I'm like, of course it will. The drawers are out. And then they said, well, it's falling over on kids. Like on this news, they did a big news story about it. It's falling over on kids because there was a lot.
Though, Brett, once upon a time, what kept that from happening too?
Yeah,
people used to watch their kids.
Yeah,
not let them run around like a bunch of wild animals all the time.
And not run around like a chicken with their head cut off. And then they take their eye off their kids. Their kids.
When I grew up, my mom stayed home and raised us. So she wasn't so burned out from a job that she couldn't keep control of the household. She was burned out, I'm sure, from raising
my mom
to some degree all the time. But it's a different.
Up until I was
go around trying to sue somebody if somebody got hurt with something, you're just, you probably got yelled at and then repaired. And because what the heck are you doing climbing on that? And then they patch you up and hey, don't do it again. And but move on. Nobody was trying to sue some company because that fell on somebody and he broke his arm or whatever. Yeah, that didn't happen.
Yeah, and then now they can get away with
our own dumb act.
Do it because they know they can get away with it. And they're going to be allowed to. They're like, oh, this kid will climb on it. And then what IKEA had to do is ever since then for like our taller like piece of furniture, we have to give the customer this little like anchor, like two types, like a strap anchor. We put it on one of them, and then it's like a nylon strap that you screw into the wall and you put it back in the furniture and keep it from falling over. And then another thing too is like we do. Delivery, and then there's a secondary company we use called TaskRabbit that we hire to assemble the furniture. So like if a customer can do a whole package where they buy the furniture, they have it delivered, and then they can have it set up is what it's called. So, and then here's the stipulation: a customer, if they don't want the wall anchoring bracket or if they're going to have the assembly and if they don't want the wall bracket mounted to the wall, we won't assemble it for them.
Oh, I see. Well, that makes sense. Because otherwise you get blamed anyway. So you got to.
Yeah, and then another stipulation too is it's good. I can see some instances where you'd want to anchor something to the wall just in case, like even if you like, just in case, like here, and you know about it. If we ever get a big earthquake. When we don't know when that's going to be, we don't know if we're ever going to get one in our lifetime or not. But they're saying we're going to.
Don't tell anybody not from the West Coast that though. Just let them think there's all kind of earthquakes. We're overloaded with people out here.
Yeah, we're overloaded with too many people.
So I always emphasize the earthquakes to people that are not from here, just in case. Slow down the flow, because in California it seems like we're just loaded. But anyway. That's now thing, I guess.
On that topic.
You know what I noticed, by the way, just now? This heckler guy, at timeout, he disappeared. He didn't come back. He or she or whatever.
Yeah. Hey, Hadel Strasskog or whatever.
Hadel Strasskog or. I probably shouldn't tempt fate by mentioning it, huh? I'd probably pop back in.
And he goes, and then he tried to tell me, I'm going to every chat you go to and heckle you. It's like. He's like threatening me. I've seen him at chats I go to, and I'm like, I know you're a troll because you go to troll channels and talk about people all the time.
Chauncey says I look more masculine outdoors. Just saying. I think part of it I had a bigger beard before when I was outside all the time too, Chauncey. But thanks. I'll take that under consideration. That's not a heckling. That's just just
observation.
So I that's okay.
Yeah, you may look more masculine outdoors.
I probably do. I look more like Yosemite Sam with a big old mustache, and the rabbits run like heck, and all that.
Yeah. What do they call? Did they have a name for that style of mustache? What do they call it?
Maybe handlebar, but it's not really handlebar.
Do they call it something else?
Mustache.
Yeah, it's a type. So I'm gonna look it up.
They call it barat. The guy at work called me baracho. In Spanish, it means, I guess, like big mustache or something.
Types of mustaches. Here we go.
Look up baracho.
I want to know the names of them.
Look up pictures.
Fu Manchu, horseshoe, chevron. The 11 best mustache styles to try this year.
This year? What are they? Are they crazy?
And then here's one. Here's like one of the most asked questions about mustache. Are mustaches attractive? Equally. It says, for 39% of women, mustaches on a man look more mature. For 22.3% of women, they're saying a mustache makes a guy look masculine. 26.4%, it makes them look sexy, as evidence of Pedro Pascal, or as evidenced by Pedro Pascal. He's the one that did like the survey or something.
Huh.
I'm trying to find the different what type of. Hulk Hogan had a trademark white mustache. It's the early days of his career. They're talking about different people. I'm trying to find out what the names of the types of mustaches. Names.
I don't know. They didn't send me a name tag when it grew out. I don't know. Actually, Baracho means drunkard, apparently. Oh. But I looked it up years ago and I saw a bunch of mustaches in there. So I don't know. At that time.
What do they call it? I can't remember what they call that. Dallas mustache. It is with a hint of a cowboy. The Dallas has long been one of the most confidently masculine trimmed mustache styles. Natural mustache, handlebar, pencil thin, Fu Manchu, horseshoe, chevron. There's a name for the one you have, though.
I didn't know there was a name for them, not to be honest with you. I never really thought about it. I guess I kind of knew there was.
Here we go. Natural, painter's brush, lampshade, chevron.
Oh, gosh. I wouldn't want that one.
No. Handlebar mustache, petite handlebar, horseshoe mustache with soul patch.
11 best mustache styles to try this year. Is that the one?
Yeah, that's the one I saw. Yeah, here's one. The English mustache, pencil thin, pencil mustache, toothbrush mustache. That's like the Hitler or the Charlie Chaplin or Charlie Chaplin. Yeah, Charlie Chaplin.
Oh, I see. Dallas is kind of like it. Maybe.
Natural. That's kind of like yours.
These are guys that look like they'll put on lipstick for the picture.
The Super Mario. It's like a reverse upside down mustache. The Fu Manchu is the one that's like kind of like medium thin, but then it hangs down below your chin on both sides, and it's like there's a space in the middle of your lip below your nose, like a.
Mine is almost like the military one, but overgrown. Like
yours is like the walrus.
Walrus. I don't even see that on the walrus.
That's what they call it the walrus.
I don't even see it in here.
I can show you just a second.
Clark Gable. I don't do that.
The Clark Gable.
That one. I don't like that thing under my lower lip. Otherwise, I just.
Show you the walrus. Yours is. I'll share my screen and you can bring it up. And I'll show you.
Pyramid
the walrus is right here.
Chevron, no.
Yours is the walrus. Did you share my screen?
Oh, I don't even. Oh, because I was looking at something on Google or whatever. I didn't even see it.
Yours is this one.
Let's see.
The one I have my mouse cursor on with the little hand and the finger pointing.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, yours is the walrus. There's
Manchu was more when you had the goatee, long goatee was Fu Manchu. I thought
it was, but it's not. The Fu Manchu, they say, is that one. The El Souvenir. So I don't know what that one is. That's a weird one. That's one where the mustache connects to your sideburns.
I think the guy that wrote this guide wasn't old enough to really understand that Fu Manchu is not just the mustache.
The dolly. And then here's one, the Zappa, you know, like the singer Frank Zappa.
Yeah, he's got that thing under his lower lip.
Yeah, he's got like the short. It's like a short, what do they call it? It's like a combination between the walrus,
It's like he's trying to have a beard going, or he decided to shave it off and his razor broke or something.
And then that stupid one, the freestyle.
Wow.
The beard stash is
That-
where you.
that's where he's trying to match up with the landing strip, right?
Yeah.
You know, what landing
Yeah.
strip is.
Yeah, and then here's one here's one that's like has like a mustache like the Zappa, but doesn't have the soul patch, and then it has like a like you were clean, you didn't shave for like 1 day or 2 days,
Oh, that's
but
the Miami Vice.
that's what it's called.
No, but you ever see Miami Vice? It always like Don Johnson. It'd be like 2 days unshaven look all the time.
Oh, yeah, that's like the I'll show you what it is. That's like the Clint Eastwood style from back in the day.
I don't know what they called it, but I think it was like the 2 days unshaven
I'll show you what I mean by
beard, like
Clint Eastwood. Clint Eastwood.
because there was, there was a show Miami Vice.
Yeah, Miami Vice with Don Johnson and then it was in like the 80s, the mid 80s. Yeah, and they drove that cool. You can find one. Well, yeah, I was born. I just wasn't watching that. I had TV. I was watching cartoons.
Yeah, watching
Miami
the
Vice
Muppet
was out.
stuff.
was
I didn't
watching,
watch
like,
much of it, but I was
He-Man and the Smurfs and freaking G.I. Joe.
yeah. That's funny. It wasn't even a cartoon when I was a kid yet. GI Joe. It was just a toy.
Yeah, it was like and you had the big G.I. Joes. When I was a kid, I had the little action figure, like 6-inch ones. You probably had the big giant, like 12-inch ones that had the uniforms you could take on and off and stuff.
Exactly.
And then if you can find one of those, you know what's rare now is one of those old Army Jeeps that look like a Willys. It was like a Willys MB, and then you could put 2 of those GI Joe figures in them, and they're giant. Like the body alone is probably like 1.5 feet long.
Right. It was like similar to the Barbie car. You could fit them in too, because my sister had Barbie in the Barbie car.
Yeah, the Barbie pink Corvette.
This was like an orange, I think.
I remember the old one from like the 80s. I think it was the old Barbie like Corvette. It was like an 80s style like Corvette, and you could fit Barbie in it.
But we'd have like Barbie and she didn't have Ken, right? So it was G.I. Joe and Barbie.
Oh yeah, it would have been better. Ken's kind of a wuss, anyways. You'd want an army man mask and then wearing like an army hat and having his assault rifle.
Ken was the homosexual version of G.I. Joe.
Yeah,
non-homosexual.
The metrosexual G.I. Joe.
Maybe metrosexual is a better term.
or like hipster.
He didn't match. It wasn't going to be a partner for Barbie anytime soon.
Yeah,
it wasn't gonna.
But I'll show you what the Clint Eastwood like look was. It was like, I can find it. It was like Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. It was like a really thin mustache. Well, this one's kind of thicker, but
I remember seeing that. They had that on TV. These movies when I was a kid,
awesome.
In the 70s. The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly.
That one's probably
about $4, a few dollars more.
And then
The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. They were all on TV.
Yeah, those movies are awesome.
By then, a couple years old, right?
Fistful of Dollars, a few dollars more, and The Good, the Bad, the Ugly.
Yeah.
And the Ugly.
For a few dollars more. For a fistful of dollars, for a few dollars more, and The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. I think The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly was the end, or I'm not sure, but.
Yeah, but I'll tell you a little history. This is a really awesome movie. I'll tell you the history about it. You know they didn't. You know what Clint Eastwood's name was in the movie?
Oh, I got it right there. Blondie.
No, the man with no name.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no. When they would talk about him, or if anybody knows it, they call him the man with no name because he had no name in the movie.
Or was it another show or something that he was kind of the same character, and his Mexican guy goes Blondie. I'd have to see that movies again to know, but.
And then that guy that directed, Sergio Leone, was his name. He did some other movies where it was back in those days they started a thing called the spaghetti western.
Yeah,
and
started.
Sergio Leone. He has another one, or he has other movies. They're like this similar kind of like director style where they'd have one camera. And what made it unique that they would like long shots with one camera.
Yeah. Well, you know what? He was unknown, so he probably didn't have the money and everything to So he had to innovate, right?
Mhm.
And he
I'll
came
show you
up
like
with style kind of because he had to.
Sergio, SCR, GI,
That's how
Sergio
I understand it anyway.
Leone,
I mean,
Leone.
when you got not much budget to put into your YouTube show, you got to invite singers on and stuff.
Yeah. But here's like the one I was talking about. This one's a good one. If you wanna watch it. Die You Sucker is good.
Is that a Clint Eastwood?
No, that's a Sergio Leone, the guy that directed like Good, the Bad, the Ugly, Fistful of Dollars, and A Few Dollars More. He directed Once Upon a Time in the West is good.
I'll have to get that in my collection once I get my place all set up, and it's taking forever to set up.
And get him in the highest.
First is going to be all dialed for sure.
And then get him in the highest. If you find a physical copy, get them in the highest resolution you can. Because I watched the original ones are kind of cool to watch. If you find them on back in those days, they were.
I'm going to try to get an 80-inch TV, so and not
then,
just for adult entertainment, just for all around.
Yeah, but like the Clint Eastwood movies.
I didn't offend you with that one.
they were released on reel. They were probably released on what format it would have been when like Good, the Bad, the Ugly one came out in '66. What format would that even been released on when after the theater? Would it even been released?
No, it wasn't.
It would have been on like reel movie player.
Public then, because we didn't even have VCRs yet.
Yeah, so it would have been like reel to reel movie player.
But nobody had. I mean, maybe some seriously rich people might have had a version.
But now you can get them on. When I remember watching them back in the day, it was either on TV in 480p or it was on VHS tape, like VHS.
Well, I mean that's way later though.
Yeah,
VHS didn't come into vogue until the 80s.
Yeah, but I remember speaking of that, that's the crappy quality you would expect. You don't even no offense to the movies, but they were shot in shitty quality compared to now.
Yeah,
and I like just the video resolution. So
I got some VHS still.
Yeah, and
I'm going to set up my area where I could play VHS. I can play whatever, right?
That'd be cool.
All the tricks to setting that up, but I'm going to find.
And then the funny thing too is remember when back in the day when you would load a movie in and the tracking would be all screwed up and you had to go to the VCR and open a little flap and then mess with the tracking.
And at one point they had beta and VHS, and beta was better quality, but it's like an 8-track. There was no end.
Yeah.
So I think it's easier for people to go one direction and stop and then rewind back to a point instead of you get lost in where the heck you stopped. I think on the beta is what was a problem. So people's human nature, they didn't write down how many feet or whatever into the movie they were. So they're probably going back like, where the heck did I stop? And can't find it because there's no real end. So I think that was a downfall of beta.
Yeah. This one gets a decent rating.
It doesn't matter because you just go to another track. But on video, it's wait a minute. I see this part already.
Yeah, and then here's a cool. This one is Duck You Sucker, and this one has James Coburn. Remember the actor James Coburn?
Oh yeah, I liked him.
Yeah, and he's like right here he's like right here. James Coburn and Rod
still alive.
No, he died like years ago. Because he even was still alive, probably be over 100.
Oh, okay.
But that's a good one, and that's directed by Sergio Leone.
Eastwood movies, I think, were in the early '60s or mid.
Yeah, they were. For the Fistful of Dollars was 64, Few Dollars More was 65, and Good, Bad, the Ugly was 66 right here, and then this one's good.
They're already 9 or 10 years old.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and then
that's
here's
why they're on TV because they're already
from '73. This one's awesome too. You can look at the picture. My Name Is Nobody is a good one.
I remember that.
That's pretty clear right there because that's probably like when it was in HD.
Probably
like 1080p because I watched like probably 4 years ago or so. I watched the Good, the Bad, the Ugly in 1080. And like, man, this is a totally different movie almost.
Yeah.
It just you don't realize that the resolution can add that so much to a movie.
See, when I get the big TV set up, it's going to be like as similar as you can get at home to being in a theater, because whoa, look at all that, right? So if I get good resolution on something, it's going to be incredible.
Yeah, that's what I mean. And like some of these old movies, like a lot of the movies from like the '80s and shit are starting to come out in 4K Blu-ray. And one of the coolest ones that I want to watch, it came out in 4K, is the original Alien movie. Because even back then, the special effects are pretty. Even if you look at it compared to you compare like Alien with the special effects today from like movies, they're so pretty amazing.
Yeah, you know what I think is cool too, though. If you look back at an old movie and you go, "Wait a minute, how easy they did to make how duped we were back then." It's like,
yeah, like if you watch a really old movie, like before I was born,
they were black and white.
You're watching like
there's a bunch of light bulbs. This is a
Fly.
spaceship and all this crazy. It's a bunch of light bulbs.
And like, here's a really popular movie.
That one cheap set there.
Yeah, the original Star Wars trilogy. When you actually, if you ever seen like I've seen on videos a few times, like the inside of Skywalker Ranch, all those like AT-ATs and all those monsters and everything, they were all like tiny models. The AT-ATs, they're like probably like 2 foot tall models or some crap. The AT-ATs, they were the big walkers that walked out in the out and they went.
Oh, they were the ones that modeled after the container cranes at the port, right?
Yeah, and then like you look at some of those movies, like a lot of them were tiny props in those old movies, and then they would make them make them look bigger by doing like some special effect, make them look like they were like 20 feet tall or whatever. They were like 30 feet tall. Like the AT-ATs are probably about, the movie probably, if they were real life size, they'd probably be like two stories tall probably or something.
Yeah, it took a lot of creative doing to make those movies.
Yeah. And then because what I like, the kind of movies I like to see, if I like an animated movie, speaking of that, they're showing the Mandalorian advertisement on TV. The Mandalorian is the offshoot. It's like a spin-off of the Star Wars franchise, because the Mandalorian were people that were in Star Wars. The Mandalorian and Boba Fett, I believe. I think Boba Fett was a Mandalorian.
Oh, okay. I remember Boba Fett when he was trying to sell his car.
Yeah.
I mean,
the DeLorean
personally, but I just remember the whole.
Oh, but like the type of, speaking, going back to anime movies, type of movies I like anime movies I like to watch is like claymation, because you know how hard it takes to make claymation. Every one tiny movement is 1 second. So every time they move the guy, like even a millimeter, it's like 1 second of film.
Yeah, so they had to make that model again, or they had to make a model for every movement they wanted to make, right? So they probably had like 30, 20, or 15 or something models, and then
and they'd have to make a movement, and then what they do is they have to set them up somewhere, and then like have a whole scene, and then do the animation.
Like they should have like 10 different scenes with a model in a different, and then take this one, you know what I mean? Instead of just keep moving this. I'm not sure if they did like there, they just kept moving the same exact one all the time, but that's how I do it to make it a bit easier. I'd make more sets.
And like
that way it'd take longer to make all the sets, but when you actually start doing it, it wouldn't take as long.
No, but it's pretty awesome to watch.
I know. They did a lot of. It took them a long time to do all that. A lot of work to do all that.
Yeah, and there's like famous.
Very creative.
Yeah, there's like famous. We're going to start watching here coming up. Well, like after Thanksgiving, all the old, like a lot of the old classic Christmas shows that everybody watches were all stop motion animation.
I got that on VHS.
The Wonderful Life. But I'm talking like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and Santa Claus is Coming to Town. Those are all the Grinch. Those are all. Well, the Grinch was like normal animation, like hand drawn, but like the Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer was stop motion. It's the same thing as claymation. They had for every 1 second or every movement took like 1 second. Every movement, every 1 second, they'd have to do a different movement with the character, and like they were actually like
it was good. That was really good though. The Rudolph.
Yeah, is I like my favorite character in it. The fun is Yukon Cornelius, the explorer.
Oh, I liked him, but I also like the Abominable Snowman.
Oh yeah, the abominable snow monster.
Yeah,
What they
yeah.
call them. I've seen that thing like probably 20 times in my life.
He just goes out there and gets him.
Yeah, and the funny thing is like I like Yukon Cornelius because he's like, and I was like, man, it'd be cool. One year it'd be cool to be Yukon Cornelius for Halloween, but that would be such an elaborate costume with the backpack and all the Mountaineers gear. And
Yeah, you got
the
to
old
explain.
hats.
So, yeah,
Yeah.
that's the thing. It's good for a costume party where you just you have a sign Yukon Cornelius or something. But yeah, I remember watching them as a kid. It seemed like
How
yesterday.
much longer are you gonna go on your stream?
That
Maybe 3 hours and 20 minutes almost.
wow, long stream. They're going to send me a notification. You've only got StreamYard will send you a notification. You're probably past that. You're paying already. I know, but they sent me a notification saying I had like 12 hours to go, and it was 3 days I had left. But I wasn't going to make one till the next weekend. It was like on a Sunday. I got the notification, so I'm like, cool. Now that was like a couple months ago or something. I think that was in October. So early October. I have till like the 12th of November to use my 20 hours, and then then I'll just go back to doing YouTube live stream.
Yeah, because I was gonna
until it becomes free again.
Yeah, because I was gonna go on another person's panel if that's okay.
Oh, are you gonna leave me?
Yeah, because I was going. Because that's what I was wondering why you're done. Because I'm gonna go on another person's panel. Because I promised her I'd be on her panel.
Who show are you going to?
Blessed Life.
Oh, I might have to pop over there too because I'm about talked out here. Believe it or not.
Okay, yeah, you can pop over there, and I'll go up to her panel in a little bit if you end, and then you can go over there and say hi. You know her, don't you? Blessed Life.
Oh, the Blessed. You know what? I think I'm subscribed. Yeah. So if anybody wants to come over,
she's a pretty good singer.
Let's do it. Everybody converge on there. Let's get her.
Yeah, but everybody go. Tell all your people, your 3 or 4 people that are here to go.
Blessed Life. We'll do a little mini raid over there.
Mini raid. Everybody go and say, I don't know, just say raid, I guess.
Yeah, tell them raid from Pacific Permaculture or whatever.
Yeah, just Pacific raid.
Send me over if you want. I don't care. Yes. Eventually they'll know me.
I'd go on her panel. She's like a really good friend of mine.
I'll get over there right now. Let me write.
Okay, I'm gonna go off the panel then. So nice chatting with you. I had fun.
All right, thanks for coming by and support.
You're welcome. Yep. Try to come as much as I can.
Nice convert and convo or whatever you call it. And
yeah. Okay. Yep. You're welcome. And I'm out.
So the Best Life and Cecilia Jansen and Chonsky. I'm not sure who's here, but I'm going to go over to the Blessed Life. If anybody want to join me, get her some view time. We'll do that. And cause I'm a little talked out tonight. Yeah, they're too young to remember. Miami Vice is sad, Cecilia. I haven't got to my mail at the P.O. box yet, so I don't know if that thing is there yet. But I will send something back in return whenever all this comes together. As days go by, there's even more. I do, 5 things and 10 more come up, so it's like pulling a weed and you get all these other weeds come up type of thing. So I just got to learn to compost more in my life, I guess, to where it all works out, and wood chip my life. And that's what I got to find a way. That's a good metaphor. I need to wood chip my life, so not as many weeds pop up in it. Anyway, I'm going to call it. It's 3 hours and almost a half. So I'm using up all my free StreamYard time. And thanks everybody for coming by and supporting. If you get a chance, replay my vids, replay them. Yeah, I'm not sure. I never came across money that had plastic in it that was see-through. That's, I don't know. I might put that on display so people can observe what Canadian money's like. I'm not sure if I'll use it. But anyhow, yeah, it was interesting. did make good topic for conversation at the post office, and how he was very generous to send anything. And anyhow, yeah, I'm kind of, my brain's running thin because I worked today, third day of this week, and I'm not used to working 3 days a week anymore. So anywho, I'm going over to the Blessed Life. Anybody wants to join me? Thanks. We'll get her some support also. With that, I'll talk to everybody later. Thanks for watching.